Live from Talladega, Alabama at the Talladega Superspeedway. SimRacerHub.com Truck Series presents tonight the over-the-top designs 200 live from the virtual Talladega Superspeedway. 2.67 miles, the final race before the Championship 4 race next week in Chicagoland. We have five drivers really fighting for one spot tonight. It all comes down to a wild card race here at Talladega.
Oh, it's going to be wild here on the high banks of sweet home Talladega here tonight. Racing it down for that one final playoff spot there in the Championship 4 at the Windy City. Going to get those hot dogs ready in 1 week's time. I believe, Tyler, after one stage here tonight, we'll be able to solidify our top three to watch out throughout this field who's left in that playoff spot.
Yeah, as we look here at your playoff grid, Brady LaBeouf getting the win last week at Nashville Superspeedway, locked himself in officially. And looking at points, and that we have not a large field here tonight at Talladega Superspeedway, we can essentially say Adam Newbert, Nathan Maurer, barring any issues in Stage 1, look, those two drivers in as well to the Championship 4 next week, Chicagoland. But Will, like we said early on here in the broadcast already, those five drivers, Kerry Tribute to Chris Blanchard, all have a shot. Chris Blanchard, the outside chance looking in, he has to win tonight. But those other four drivers, they can race points tonight.
Exactly, and I believe, Tyler, you're going to keep track of that for the fans at home here in the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. As mentioned, Chris Blanchard, though, weirder things have happened here at Talladega, the 14 machine. All he has to do is linger around here at this race. We know big ones are going to happen. If he can survive all the wrecks, he could win and secure that last playoff spot. Things are going to get crazy here, Tyler, but what blows my mind is that we're almost at the end of this season. It's been almost 25 weeks counting all the duels at Daytona, Tyler. I cannot believe we're almost at championship week here at Chicagoland.
Yeah, what a season it has been, Will, joining you in the booth. We've had, obviously, some off weeks where we've had other commentators like Wesley Outland in the booth helping us out from time to time. We'd like to give a big shout out to Wesley tonight for all the work he's done for us this season, helping us out in the booth whenever I've been out or you've been out, Will, as well. I also like to thank Adam Flieger, our main producer, for everything he's been able to do for us this season. We're not done just yet, folks. We got one more race next week, season 1, a few weeks off, and then season 2 starts right up. And unfortunately, Will, this will be our second to last race working together here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. I'll be going from the booth to the cockpit next season here in this Monday Night Series.
Oh, there we go. Cannot wait for that next series. This qualifying is now taking place. Looks like Sean Hamilton's taking the track right now. Here, one of those drivers that's racing for that last championship spot. He's down the backstretch here into 3 and 4. Let's see where he places at 89. Actually, this is down the front stretch here. And what gets me here, Tyler, at Talladega, see that Geico restart zone's almost at the end of the front stretch, and then that start-finish line's almost at the entry of turn 1.
Yeah, that weird start-finish line allows for a lot more moves to be made here late in this race. Those runs off of 4 are going to matter even more here at Talladega than they do at Daytona. But also, so does having the bottom lane coming through the trial, the shorter distance here on the front straightaway. Thing is, people don't realize that bottom lane just above that yellow line at Talladega, that's very, very bumpy. That truck can get very unsettled, especially if you have a truck pushing you from behind. You may end up in the inside grass, or if you correct the wrong way, you may end up in the outside wall.
Yeah, right now as we're watching another one of those championship drivers here take the course. This is Kyle Hess. He's one of those drivers just a few points out of that last championship spot from Kerry Tribute and that 7 who holds it by just a point here, Kyle Hess. But he has some friends. That's one thing that we spoke about off air here, Tyler, before we went live from the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. A lot of these drivers here might have friends in those championship spots or friends in the field that want to push their teammates across the line.
Yeah, one of those drivers is Kyle Hess. He has his teammate Brady LaBeouf, who just won provisional pole there with a 56 flat. Kyle Hess had qualified second. So right now you have two teammates up front with Mission 1 Esports, one driver who's locked into the championship 4, Brady LaBeouf, shown in green on your scoring pylon, and Kyle Hess, who's on the outside looking in. We could see those two drivers working together tonight and maybe have Brady LaBeouf help get his teammate into the championship 4 with him next week at Chicagoland.
Yeah, Brady LaBeouf, last week's winner at Nashville, coming on very strong here late in this season. The boss man here, the 9 machine, here going around the high banks of Talladega. Definitely one of the drivers to watch out for here tonight. Tyler, as he's not going to take us off of 4 here, down that long front stretch, just see that 9 can better that pole position.
I believe this may be his cool down lap. If not, this will be... Nope, that will not better his position, so he will keep that 56 flat. Right now, only truck on track making a competitive lap will be Jason Morales. If we can get Jason Morales on the screen, he's on his second lap now, coming down the front straightaway, I believe, as we look at Justin White. Brandon Broadfoot goes provisional pole, 55.94. And that's going to make the field a little bit more nervous, everybody. There's been a lot of talk amongst the driver chatter this week that Brandon Broadfoot, a.k.a. Ironfoot, may be a driver that a lot of drivers don't want to work with tonight here at Talladega Superspeedway.
Yeah, that 24 machine always rocking those Jeff Gordon throwback paint schemes. Here tonight, though, it looks like he's rocking a little bit of a different livery on that 24 machine here. He's going to take us into 3 and 4 during his qualifying run. Let's see what that 24 wants to land on that grid.
Yeah, he right now holds provisional pole, should hold that spot barring any fast laps from anyone else. Blake Lothian right now on track, about to complete his second lap. Can Blake Lothian put down a top time? Blake Lothian goes P4, so will not knock Brandon Broadfoot off the pole. Right now, every driver except for Justin White has made a lap so far. Justin White currently on track. You're seeing him making his lap here. His second lap should be up to speed now, so we'll see how Justin White does. We see all the drivers hugging that yellow line here tonight right now in qualifying. Well, you're going to see these trucks be 2, sometimes even 3, maybe even 4 wide here at Talladega. Much wider super speedway than Daytona. Offers a lot more passing and drafting opportunities, as well as different ways to make runs. Obviously, the bottom, the shorter way around, but you can get big momentum swings coming from the top here off the exit of these large corners.
Oh, yeah, Tyler, right now, the drivers love it on the racetrack. They can hug that yellow line. They can run these hot laps, so to say, here, get these nice 56s flats on the screen right there, 57s for some slower on the racetrack. But, Tyler, as you just mentioned, once this race starts to go, you're going to start to see those draft lines begin. You're going to start to see that 2 wide on the bottom, 3 wide there in the middle. Some drivers might get a little gambling there on the top side, push it 4 wide, try to push that way top lane there, maybe go close to the wall on the top side. It's going to get crazy once that green flag drops. And you have to remember, folks, if you're unfamiliar with the format here at Nazareth, no fast repair. So watch out for your favorite driver here where they qualify if they're going to get caught up in one of those early wrecks.
Yeah, that's going to be a big concern for a lot of these playoff drivers. The 3 drivers in red are on the outside looking in. Kerry Tribute, he's in yellow right now, but he was only 1 point to the good coming in today. So watch Justin White just making laps right now. He's already done his 2 qualifying laps. So looking at that number 2 machine, Blake Lothian also just outdoing laps right now. He's already done his 2 qualifying laps. We'll see what these drivers have in store tonight. An interesting playoff driver we haven't seen yet. Chris Blanchard has yet made a qualifying lap. I think he's going to opt to start at the back and try and just keep his truck clean throughout the race.
Yeah, I don't blame him here at Talladega. And taking a look at that grid, you see the 971 and Nathan Maurer, might be taking that same strategy there, lower end. For Hamilton, though, starting 12th, that might be a dangerous starting position for that 89.
Yeah, it is a dangerous position being in the middle of the pack, but so is starting in 11th if you're Kerry Tribute. Really, Adam Newbert shouldn't feel comfortable in the 8th position. The only 3 drivers I think are really happy with their qualifying positions is your pole setter, Brandon Broadfoot right now, and then Bray LaBeouf and Kyle Hess 2nd and 3rd. And then I have another relatively good friend of theirs, Blake Lothian, there in 4th. And another teammate, Mission 1 Esports, with Jason Morales, my boss next season, there in 5th. So Mission 1 Esports is sitting quite comfortably there up front, with the exception of your pole setter, Brandon Broadfoot. Right now, it looks... Oh, sorry about that. Well, let's say right now it looks like qualifying has wrapped up, just about a minute left. Blanchard has joined the session, but he will not be able to get in a qualifying time, Will. So starting to look forward to this race. Just a minute time until the drivers grid up. What do you think is going to be the big storyline coming out of Talladega tonight? What is your bold prediction?
Yeah, Tyler, no, I was just looking at the garage. Looks like there is a few more trucks in the garage that aren't going to run laps. It might be a part of this field here tonight. But my bold prediction for this race, I think it's going to get chaotic early on. And To get the folks familiar with the format here, it's now going to run 22 laps in stage number 1. Stage number 2 will be 46. That's 24 laps in between stage 1 and 2. End of the race will happen at lap 100. That's 54 laps to the end. And I think in these first 22 laps, not only will we set the first 3 championship drivers, I think things will get very, very crazy early on.
I hope not too crazy. We don't lose any of our competitive playoff drivers early on tonight. Something else to keep note, Will, drivers have 3 sets of tires, including the set they start on. So that means they only can change tires twice tonight. You may see
Oh,
drivers
yeah.
opt to not take tires in stage 1, run it to halfway, essentially at lap 46, take a set there, and then save a set for late in the race. But we're going to take you through our starting grid tonight, starting with your pole sitter, Brandon Broadfoot on the inside, his first career pole in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. Outside, already locked into the Champ. Yeah, you see Blake Lothian immediately gets to the back bumper of Brady LaBeouf and pushes him well clear. Brandon Broth at that outside lane, moving quickly early on. Kyle has stuck on the bottom. Brady LaBeouf does not want to leave Blake Lothian out by himself. He's going to stay to the outside lane for now. See, Adam Newbert's going to go all the way below the yellow line. He'll drop to the back of the field early on. Meanwhile, side by side up front, that's Brandon Broth, but Brady LaBeouf, Kyle Hess, and Blake Lothian pushing him.
As they roar into the apex of 3 and 4 right now, still Brian Broadfoot on the inside right now. He has a big push though from the top side. The top side is trying to form up something here. As now we're cruising down the front stretch here. One lap in. We'll see who wins this drag race to the start finish line.
Brady LaBeouf gets a great shove from Blake Lothian. Robbie Richards going to follow them on the outside, and there's Steve Barnett and Sean Hamilton in the outside lane. So 3 drivers trying to point their way in on the outside lane early on. We're seeing Justin White and Landon Price moving their way up through the field in that outside lane. But you're going to see Blake Lothian leaves Brady LaBeouf out to dry. He'll jump to the inside.
Yeah, right now you see the inside lane's going to take us off corner number 2 right here down the back stretch. And you see early on here, Tyler, the inside lane looks to be the fast lane. You see the top side trying to form up. But what I'm seeing early on as we dig down to corner number 3 right now, the drivers are maintaining the lines. That's very, very good to see here early on.
Brandon Broadfoot trying to get some air to the nose of that 24 machine. He's peeking out of line a little bit, probably unsettling that outside lane a little bit. He's going to get to the back bumper of Blake Lothian, push him here through the tri-oval. Robbie Richards to the back bumper of Brady LaBeouf. Blake Lothian looking to lead lap number 2 here at Talladega, and he will. That's lap number 2 led by Blake Lothian.
Early on right now, you see the top side still trying to form up with the boss man himself, the 9 machine trying to lead the way. You see the low side just maintaining its composure right now. Tyler here as we're down the backstretch being pushed along. Good pace being set by Blake Lothian in that 43 truck. Haven't seen the 43 in victory lane here in a long time. Might be the night here at Sweet Home Talladega.
Yeah, Blake Lothian right now controlling that inside line. The outside lane got stacked up there on the back straightaway, losing a lot of momentum. Hopefully they can get a run here down the front straightaway. Seems a little bit more organized this time from the outside lane, but they only have 5 trucks. A few more there on the bottom lane. Should have the advantage. And they're going to hold serve here this time by Blake Lothian to lead lap number 3 of 100. So I almost said 200 tonight. That'll be a long race, ladies and gentlemen, but only 100 laps here tonight. 22 laps in stage number 1.
43 still maintains here on the inside. Our pole sitter, Brandon Broadfoot, and that 24 machine's going to be pushing him along here down the backstretch. You see Kyle Hess right there in the 86. Good spot for him early on. Right now, we're going to check in on the tail end of this pack. You see Sean Hamilton in the 89 right there on the top side being pushed by Justin White in the 2. Ron Hunter in the 30 there on the low side as well. Great shot here in the Nazareth 360 Racing Network as we roar off at 3 and 4.
Brady LaBeouf's got a bumper full of Robbie Richards. They've hooked up a lot better this time, but Brandon Broadfoot very well in line with Blake Lothian. Brady LaBeouf gets to run on the outside this time. Tri-oval, we may have a drag race to the line, see who leads this lap. Right now it looks like Blake Lothian should lead the lap at the line. Blake Lothian will lead that lap, I believe, but just by a hair. Call it 0 thousandths of a second. Identical lap times that time by.
Yeah, what I love to see here at Talladega, Tyler, and I know one thing you're familiar with, you're going to see this pace, you're going to see these drivers maintaining, but what's going to happen here is the tires going to begin to wear, those draft lines then are going to start to get broken, the driver's going to get uncomfortable, sometimes you're going to have an unfamiliar person pushing you from behind, you're going to get uncomfortable yourself, that's what's going to cause the chaos in this race, but right now, Blake Lothian's cool as a cucumber off of corner number 4.
Yeah, track temperature is all the way up to 119 degrees right now. This track is going to be slick, and these drivers are going to have a handful as these tires wear later and later into the run, whether that be at the end of stage 2 if they don't take tires, or all the way at the end of the race if they do take tires at stage 2 break. Sean Hamilton's going to push it 3 wide, maybe some contact there with Steve Barnett. 3 wide here in the 1 and 2.
Yeah, Steve Barnett won the All-Star race here at Talladega just a few weeks ago, trying to make it a sweep here. That's a big run, though, from Robbie Richards on the inside. That's no pressure, though, from the leader, Blake Lothian, as he's still going to lead the way. We're now 3x3 racing inside the top 10.
Brandon Broadfoot throws the block on the outside lane. Brady LaBeouf and Steve Barnett are going to get big momentum here. We're 3 wide at Talladega early on. That's really going to make those points race drivers really nervous here early on. and that's going to look great for Chris Blanchard, who's 18 seconds off the pack. He started the race from the pit lane. Kerry Tribute all the way in the outside lane, not where you want to be if you're trying to avoid a wreck while still maintaining the pack. Surprised he's not on the bottom, unlike Kyle Hess and company. But that is 4 playoff drivers there in a blanket of this field.
Look at this beautiful shot here in the NASRA 360 Racing Network. All of these drivers maintaining as we're 3 by 3 by 3, all for positions inside the top 10. Now a big run forming up air on the middle lane. There's Robbie Richards. Big push there from the inside. He now leads the way down into 3 as things are going to get tight, though, inside the corner.
Yeah, Sean Hamilton came up. Blake Lothian decides to get out of line. And that pack has essentially disintegrated. Brady LaBeouf, Steve Barnett, Kerry should be the only drivers on the outside lane. Kyle Hess is going to migrate up, but that outside line's in tatters. Call it 4 trucks on the inside, pretty organized, but no. That's that pink machine of Hunter Parsons. He doesn't want to sit in line. He'll jump out. Brady LaBeouf leads him to dry. Gets a big push from Steve Barnett.
Just as I mentioned it, these drivers are getting uncomfortable. They're realizing who's pushing them along. They said, I don't want that person pushing me. I don't like them very much here in this elimination races. Brady LaBeouf now is going to wait for Kyle Hess to link up with him here on the top side into 1 and 2. Is going to cost the boss man some positions on the racetrack. But I think right now, 8 laps into this race, they're trying to go for the long haul here in this race down the backstretch.
Oh, that front pack's going to get dicey again. Hunter Parsons is going to jump to the outside with help from Steve Barnett. Robbie Richards is trying to decide if he wants to block that lane. He's going to stay on the bottom for now with his buddy Sean Hamilton. They're going to hold that inside line. Meanwhile, this pack has splintered apart, but they should get back together relatively quickly. That inside lane is going to have 7, maybe 8 trucks. Nope, Blake Lothian jumps to the outside. He might try to lead a lane here soon.
Yeah, 8 laps into this race, Tyler. It's interesting to see how these lanes basically dissipated early on in this race. You know, we're not even halfway through this first stage. Is that interesting to see for you, or is that just Talladega racing?
It's part of Talladega racing. You've seen some of these drivers get very nervous with how the racing has already kind of gone, and they want to get out of the field. And so what they're trying to do is back it up entirely and try to get away, but then the pack splinters apart and they have to get back together because they don't want to lose that trap. As we're going to see 3 wide again, Brady LaBeouf's going to go topside with his teammate Kyle Hess all the way to that top lane. Hunter Parsons leads that middle lane with Steve Barnett trying to side draft. Looks very uneasy in that pink 15 machine.
Yeah, look at all these drivers here trying to play spoiler. We have 2 drivers on the outside looking in. Then we have Justin White and the 2 who's not even in the championship hunt, or Parsons, or Broadfoot, or Barnett in the 42. We have to go all the way down to the 7th position. Kerry Tribute in the 7 is the first championship driver right now. 10 laps in here, halfway through stage number 1.
And that outside lane's going to stack up there. Brady LaBeouf's going to have to check up big time. Meanwhile, Hunter Parsons maybe slowing that lane down a bit by trying to side draft so much. Trying to pull those inside trucks back is not working right now, and it's affecting Steve Barnett's ability to get to his bumper. Meanwhile, that inside lane, 2 playoff drivers point racing tonight. It's Robbie Richards and Sean Hamilton, 2 drivers who are excited with the proposition that they have so far. We're on lap 10, though. We're going to lap 22. End of lap 22 will mark the end of stage 1. Still out front, though, it's going to be Robbie Richards, Sean Hamilton, Justin White leading that inside lane. Side-by-side battle for 4th there. That's Hunter Parsons and Brandon Broadfoot. Then you have Steve Barnett, Ron Hunter behind him. Kerry Tribute and Brady LaBeouf along with, I can't tell, that's Jonathan Wiley and that 00 machine behind them. Drivers getting very antsy early on here as the pack still splinters apart a little bit more.
Yeah, 11 laps into this stage number 1 here. And I think drivers are realizing, Tyler, we only have 2 races left in this season. Whether you're a championship driver or not, you still want to win this race. No better race to win than here at the high banks of Talladega as we're roaring down the backstretch.
Yeah, drivers want to win. They want to get a big check. They want to get some of that money. And they want to get a victory lane interview with us, Will. That's what the glory is all about tonight. Getting that victory lane interview, but for some of these drivers, the glory is about making the championship 4. So you have drivers with different agendas, and they're going to run these races very differently, Will. And you're really seeing it early on here with how aggressive some drivers are, while how aggressive some drivers aren't.
Yeah, right now here as the 48 machine of Robbie Richardson leads the way on the inside. We're going to cross this line, make a lap 12 as we dig down into corner number 1. Parsons still trying to hold it down there in the middle lane. Very uncomfortable lane, I do have to say myself. As the top side is trying to be built up by Kerry Tribute in that 7. Remember, Kerry is locked into the championship 4, trying to lead the way there on the top side. Big push from the boss man in the 9.
Yeah, they're leaving Hunter Parsons behind. Barnett does not like the way Parsons was leading that middle line. Tribute came into this race 1 point above the cut line. He has to point race tonight. He has to run well in these stages. Meanwhile, you see Brady LaBeouf. He's just trying to run well to run well. He's already locked into the Champ 4. Hunter Parsons smartly gets down on that bottom lane. That outside lane is going to have to reset here with Brady LaBeouf and Kerry Tribute.
But one thing for Kerry Tribute in the 7, he might be locked in right now. He might have the gold or yellow, whichever way you want to look at it there on that ticker on your screen here in the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. But the 89 machine of Sean Hamilton currently in second here. This is very, very early, Tyler. If he makes a move, though, and wins this race, he could knock the 7 out of that championship 4.
He could, and right now we're finally joined by our good buddy Wesley Outland here in the booth. Wesley, you're joining us in the middle of a barn burner stage 1. Mix of drivers already in the playoff championship 4, drivers who are on the outside looking in of the championship 4, and drivers who just want to win a race, and they're all racing very aggressively early on. Believe some small technical difficulties with our co-host Wesley Allen. He'll be in the booth shortly, but he is coming into a great race here. Oh, you're here, Wesley.
I am here. Believe it or not, I'm finally here by the grace of God in 20 minutes of patience. What can I say? Hey,
great to have you in the booth with us,
man. It's great to be back, brother. I've been trying to follow what you guys have been doing on YouTube while I was waiting on the wonderful world of Discord to get their head in the game to open up the server to let me in, but man, it looks like from what I've seen so far, this has been a pretty exciting race, man, and I'm happy for Richards to be up in front.
He is your inaugural Daytona points race winner. He did win the season opening race to get into the playoffs this year. Robbie Richards, he knows how to get it done on
30, though.
Speedways.
Look at the 30, though, on the middle side right there. Ron Hunter, where did he come from, guys? Trying to lead a charge now from the middle lane, being pushed now from Hunter Parsons. And that all-pink machine, the 30, trying to lead some laps here at Dega.
I'll tell you what, this guy in the 30 truck, guys, I follow him a lot of the Northwest Racing Series with another iRacing group that I broadcast for the last about 4 years. He used to just tear trucks up from the floor up virtually. He'd always hit the escape button and start over, but man, he has come a long way, and definitely he's got a surprising run going for him right now in the top 5.
Yeah, driver from the outside looking in just to get a win, and also competing for prizes for those non-playoff drivers. That's Ron Hunter trying to get that 17th points position, because those do pay out as well here in the NASCAR Family Racing Networks of leagues we have here. But man, these drivers are very dicey. And we're getting into that point in the run, Wesley and Will, where we're going to start seeing these trucks slide more. They're losing grip. Track temperature well over 110 degrees here in the Talladega sun. These drivers are going to have their hands full later on in these runs.
Yeah, it got very dicey there on the corner there, Wesley. You already started to see the drivers drift down to the apron just a little bit, as we're going to make it 16 down to corner number 1.
Yeah, I think you just got to kind of ride and drive right now, guys. I mean, you got 100 miles of this, 100 laps of this race here, and I mean, you know, that's basically, you know, just kind of get to probably lap 50 and then put yourself in a position where you're going to try to go here at the end of it. It's about 250 miles or whatnot for these trucks, so just kind of be patient, put yourself in the right place, right time, and be there at the end. But to do that, you got to be, you know, race aggressively, but not race to do anything to mess your truck up. Because you got to remember, guys, you know, Tyler and William, you guys follow this series a lot as they work off turn 4. You don't get no fast repair. You mess your truck up, you're done for. And in restrictor plate racing, if you crash, you're pretty much going to be out.
Like you said, Wesley, I think the biggest thing is to be there at the end. You have to be there at the end. And we're going to be 3 wide here. Hunter Parsons had enough of Ron Hunter, splits it 3 wide. That's going to really mess up that outside lane. Really going to back up Kerry Tribute and Brady LaBeouf. You see Kyle Hess backs way off of Brady LaBeouf there in that outside lane.
Yeah, Hunter Parsons right there was just sitting at the dentist office for his appointment. It was 45 minutes after the scheduled time. He got sick of waiting there, blasted past Ron Hunter in the 30, now leading the charge on the top side.
Not only did he do that, guys, he made the outside work to his advantage, and he's now the guy that's leading this cavalry up on the top shelf. Everybody else hugging down below the bottom of the line with Richards, Hamilton, and White. Parsons and Hunter up on the top shelf. Broadfoot, the pole truck right there as well. He'll now jump on the outside lane. Some zigging and zagging, Tyler, as they work through the travel.
Yeah, zigging and zagging, exactly what's happening in the back, and that's because these trucks are getting more and more unstable. Brandon Broadfoot jumps the outside, that inside lane, now down to 3 trucks. They splintered apart. Outside lane has all the trucks and all the momentum. Hunter Parsons was able to lead a lane earlier, but couldn't go anywhere, but now he's got more trucks behind him, some faster trucks along with Ron Hunter, Brandon Broadfoot. Maybe he can take the lead, but his aggressive side drafting has prevented his drivers behind him. Oh, wow, that's a close movement there. Again, his aggressive side drafting, Wesley and Will, almost wrecked the entire field.
Oh, man, things are getting crazy right now. As Robert Richardson leading the way in that 48, has Hamilton in the 89 right behind him as we're leading the charge off of 4 here. Parsons still trying to make a party there as he now has another taker there on the top side.
And you got
him to the outside, Wesley there.
Yeah, man, I'm about to say, I mean, you open that door, honestly, Tyler, I was about to say the exact same thing, and he's trying to literally make something work on the outside. We'll see if he can make it stick on the outside because Richards is under attack.
Richards under attack. Richards just needs to have points tonight. He doesn't have to win this race to move on. He just has to outpoint Kerry Tribute, Sean Hamilton, Kyle Hess, and as long as Chris Blanchard doesn't win the race, guys, Robbie Richards can get himself into the championship 4. But that wild card, Chris Blanchard, he's not up here in this pack right now. He's waiting till the end of this race to go racing because he knows his only way into that championship 4 is through victory lane.
I think it's kind of crazy that the penultimate race of the regular season is going to be to decide the championship 4, if you will, in this playoff run. I mean, basically, you just got to be patient and hold on to your line. I'll be honest with you, Tyler, with what you just said. If I'm Robert Richards, I'd get the hell out of that pack. I wouldn't even worry about dealing with all this stuff going on. But then that's the mindset of that sim racer, real racer mentality. You want to win. You want to win races. You know you're in the championship 4, but right now you want to go for that W for sure. And a win at Talladega would be amazing.
Yeah, Robbie Richards has to point his way into that championship 4. He's in a very tight point battle with Kerry Tribute, Kyle Hess, Sean Hamilton. Kerry Tribute came into the race 1 point above Robbie Richards in the points on that cut line. Kyle Hess was 6 points back of Kerry Tribute, and Sean Hamilton was 8 points back of Kerry Tribute. Where are all 4 of those drivers right now? Inside the top 12 in this main pack. They have to have these points because if Brady LaBeouf, Nate Maurer, Adam Newber, or someone not in the playoff wins tonight, those drivers are racing on points to get in.
Yeah, and what could just be conceded as a caution flag to just take a breather right now. Robbie Richards is going to take the 1 to go here in stage number 1.
Correction, make that 2 to go, gentlemen. End of lap 22. We're beginning lap 21. Wesley as they go through 1 and 2.
Yeah, everybody right now minding their P's and Q's as we mentioned, 2 by 2, working the lane off the turn number 2. It's now going to be Richards on the bottom, Hamilton right there in tow with him, Barnett and White now. Some of these drivers making moves on Parsons as they go to the back straightaway. They'll come to 1 to go in stage 1 as they go to 3.
Jonathan Wiley in the wall there. Will Landon Price gets to the back of Steve Barnett. Hunter Parsons keeps him 3 wide here through 3 and 4, Will.
Ooh, that's making me nervous to the 527 there on the top side all by himself. You saw a little bit of the wiggle there. Contact. There's contact off of 4.
That's Parsons' truck, guys, scraping down to the bottom of the apron there. He's got damage on his machine. Some other drivers are also caught up in it and brought into this melee. Caution is no caution. We're still green.
We're going to run to the end of the stage, getting back to the lead pack as they're through 1 and 2 this time by. These drivers still keeping the pedal to the floor. 2 playoff drivers looking to get their way into this final 4 up front. That's Robbie Richards and Sean Hamilton. The big field split apart. They're coming down the back straightaway, Will.
Yeah, Robbie Richards leading the charge there on the inside lane into 3 and 4. Barnett trying to make something happen there. There goes Hamilton on the top side. Barnett to the low side now, pushing Robbie Richards around 3 and 4 right now. The 48 trying to close out stage number 1 right now. He needs these points, trying to make his case for the championship 4 as the 48 will take us down this long front stretch.
Eric Tribute all over the back bumper here. Sean Hamilton as we come to the line to end stage number 1. Who's going to get it? It's going to be your Daytona winner. Robbie Richards wins stage number 1. Wesley, that's a big deal for him.
Do you see that? 3 wide for second across the line between Hamilton, Barnett, and Tribute. Easy pickings for Robert Richards, but 3 wide, too close to call. Thank goodness we got timing and scoring. And they were 3 wide coming to the line at the end of stage number 1. That's just a little sample of what I think we're going to see here at Talladega. Wow. We're going to look at it again. Watch this one more time on the pole instant replay, Tyler Dittmer. Look at this.
A great finish, and it looks like, I believe, Steve Barnett will finish second in the stage. Sean Hamilton will get third. Kerry should be fourth. Look at that picture, gentlemen.
Oh, and actually they did pass Hamilton. Barnett just got around Hamilton. Look at the instant. Look at that right there. And on the outside, man, Kerry Tribune just missing it by at least maybe half of a fender, half of a hood.
Two thousandths of a second. 2,000ths of a second separated Steve Barnett and Sean Hamilton from 8 stage points and 9 stage points for Sean Hamilton tonight.
And those stage points are crucial, William Tiller, because we're into the championship playoffs. The more stage points you get, especially if you're one of them playoffs going to the championship for drivers, this is crucial to put yourself in the catbird seat in placement, seeding to run for a championship.
Yeah, exactly, Wesley. And here on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network, as we watch what happened there just at the end of stage number 1, unfortunately, Hunter Parsons, who looked to have a fast truck here tonight, have some heavy damage on that. But me and Tyler talked about it here, Wesley. After stage number 1, we can all but solidify those top 3 spots. Brady LaBeouf, of course, our first championship driver, winning at Nashville. Then we look at Adam Newbert. We can go ahead and officially congratulate him being a championship driver. And Nathan Maurer, the 971, also going to be a championship driver at Chicagoland. But, guys, that really leaves it down to Kerry Tribune in the 7, Robbie Richards in the 48, Kyle Hess, Sean Hamilton, and Chris Blanchard, where right now he's down in 21st position. So, unfortunately, right now, things not looking too bright for the 14 machine.
That's a strategy call, though, from Chris Blanchard. He's going to ride in that 20th position until stage 3, and then he's going to go for that win. Get back to live action for pit stops here at the end of stage 1. We'll take a quick 30-second break, and then we'll be back with you guys for more broadcasting action. And we'll give you a rundown on where those 4 points drivers stand here after stage number 1. Back live here after stage number 1 in the over-the-top designs 200 here. And let's go back to those point standings that we were talking about here pre-race. We have a little bit of updates, maybe not on the screen, but I'll talk you through the updates after stage number 1 tonight. Robbie Richards started on the outside looking in, a point behind. Robbie Richard is now 2 points ahead of Kerry Tribune here in the playoffs. Sean Hamilton, 9 points behind them, and Kyle Hess is 13 points behind them. So right now, Robbie Richards +2, Kerry Tribune -2. Sean Hamilton -9, and Kyle Hess -13. That is your updated stage playoff point picture for that last remaining spot. So right now, Robbie Richards in the catbird seat as the field is 2x2 down the backstretch. We'll get you regridded here, and then we'll get back to great green flag racing action here shortly. Right now, regridded though, up front, Sean Hamilton will lead the field back to green. Steve Barnett on the outside. Robbie Richards, Justin White, row number 2. Row number 3 is Ron Hunter and Kerry Tribune. Row number 4 will be Jonathan Wiley and Brandon Broadfoot. And then finally rounding out the top 10, row number 5, that's Kyle Hess and Brady LaBeouf. Will, points are already making a big impact on how these drivers are going to race.
Yeah, looking down the grid a little bit more, you see the money man himself, Adam Newbert there in the 11th. Jason Morales there in 12th, right there in the 5 machine, having a good run here tonight. 13th, Tyler Daniels in the 95. Dan Hagan in the 39. 14th, Chris Blanchard in the 14 machine, sneaking up the grid a little bit, up to 15th. Ryan Chu in the 51. 17th, Blake Loth in the 43. 18th, Nathan Ryan in the 971. 19th position, rounding out our top 20 is Justin Lumpkin in the 18.
Yeah, remaining drivers in the field, that's Raul Meza, Brandon Bullock. Landon Price, a lot of damage. He is several laps down. Brandon Bullock is also a lap down. Looks like he picked up some damage there at the end of stage number 1. Sean Hamilton, though, leading the field of green here to start stage number 2. He starts this stage 9 points out of a playoff spot. He's got to beat Robbie Richards and make sure Robbie Richards is nowhere near him at the end of this thing. Same with Kerry Tribune. Kyle Hess on the outside looking in. Can't be in a big hole anymore. He's got to go racing here. Sean Hamilton leads the field of the green. We hit the restart zone. Mario the Flagman waves us. Stage number 2 underway here in the over-the-top designs 200.
They'll climb the banking on the restart, back off into turn number 1 and 2. It's Hamilton on the hole shot. He'll pull down to the bottom. Barnett now hugs right there to the outside lane. Richards will follow. Hamilton now puts that truck to the bottom of the speedway. Justin White, Kerry Tribune, all of them now going to take about a lap to come to full song. William Tiller, they work their way to the back straightaway. Hamilton still stays to the bottom. Richards still trying to power back to the lead as they work the 3.
Yeah, Hamilton exactly where he needs to be right now in this race on the low side of the racetrack, lead no way though. He has Barnett in the middle side, the winner here at this all-star race in Talladega just a few weeks ago here as we roll off of corner number 4. Tyler, you see the top side trying to be formed there with the boss man himself and Kyle Hess.
Top side, make it 3 wide. Brady LaBeouf, Kyle Hess going to put the field 3 across here if they can get the run down the front straightaway. Can't do it this time. That's Landon Price, that last truck there, I believe, on the outside. No, that's Jonathan Wiley, correction, as they work towards Wesley Outland there in 1 and 2.
Back in the middle of the lane's going to be Barnett's truck. He'll now have some company on the bottom, and Sean Hamilton. Hamilton will now carry Richards on the bottom as well. All these drivers now start to get unorganized. Now they fan back out 2, 3 wide. Outside lane starts to come to work. Pushing to the bottom is Hamilton. He's got a bump from Richards. Behind him in tow is White. They work the 3.
Yeah, Hess still trying to lead.
Beautiful. Big wreck. Kyle Hess involved. Steve Barnett, Brady LaBeouf, Ron Hunter, all involved. Kerry Tribune involved. That's 2 playoff drivers with huge damage early on here at Talladega.
What just happened, boys? We have disaster here early on in stage number 2. We might have huge championship implications. Let's watch here on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Wow, what did we just see?
Guys, it all started right off of me down the back straightaway. I could start to see there was a little bit of an organized pattern happening. Barnett and some other trucks were just starting to maybe get antsy to make a move. And as they work their way off the super stretch, going to that 3rd turn, Tyler Dittmer in front of, or William Tiller actually in front of you. Barnett zigged when he should have zagged, shot up the racetrack, and then it blocked the path and took out a whole bunch of drivers in this draft of the pack in 03.
Oh, man, we were just talking about
that.
Barnett in the 42. Wow.
And honestly, he had some help. Kerry Tribune kind of gave a little shot there to the 42 of Barnett, so my apologies. I don't want to say that he's the culprit.
So,
man, oh, man.
So if we could, to our producer there in the booth, if we could rewind this tape just a little bit here. And Tyler, if we could take a look at this field, that's going to be, the driver list involved in this accident. You look at Barnett in the 42. Look at the championship implications that just happened here. You're going to start the tape just a little bit. Of course, you're going to see Barnett's going to have impact there. Tyler, you look at Kyle Hess, there's going to have impact as well.
This is the view that's going to end Kyle Hess's season. He is significantly down on power. You're going to see Tribute gets to the back of Barnett when the truck is lightest entering the corner and straight to the outside wall. Kyle has nowhere to go. He'll hit the outside wall. Kerry Tribute will get hit by multiple trucks. Brady LaBeouf thankfully already had the win. Yes. Wow. He's going to hit the wall a ton right here in front of Kyle Hess. Watch right here, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to see someone come up and Brady LaBeouf hard into the outside wall.
You know, William Tiller and Tyler Dittmer, there's a rule in the world of restrictor plate racing, and I've been at Daytona and Talladega for both, and then the consensus is always in the pit area is do not bump draft going into the corner, and that's basically what just happened. A tandem draft, a shot from Kerry Tribute into the 42 of Barnett, and, you know, maybe some bumping on the straightaways might be allowed. That's a given, but to do it inside the corner, diving into that third turn, he shouldn't have went for that move, especially at this outcome of the race being only 30 laps into it. If he would probably go back and do it again, he'd probably say, I'm sorry. But look, the outcome is even he put himself in harm's way and damaged his truck also. And it's just heartbreak there for all these guys involved like Barnett, Hess, and others.
Yeah, Mr. Wesley Allen, this is the unofficial list of drivers involved in that. We look at Brady LaBeouf down pit road in the 9, Kyle Hess in the 86 down pit road, Jason Morales in the 5 down pit road, Ron Hunter in the 30 down pit road, Kerry Tribute in the 7 down pit road, Brian Shue in the 51 down pit road, Jonathan Wiley in the 00 down pit road, and Steve Barnett in the 42 down pit road as well, guys. Wow, we're not even halfway through this race, and things are already up in the air here in Sweet Home Talladega.
Yeah, just absolutely a rough way for Kyle Hess and Kerry Tribute to end their seasons. But when you look at it, really no one else to blame for Kerry Tribute but himself for putting himself in that position. Bumping into the corner, like you said, Wesley Outland, is just something you can't do, especially in these trucks where the back end gets so light on corner entry. It's just so difficult for these trucks to be able to control it. He's going to be significantly down on power.
Yeah, I mean, bottom line, you know, it's one thing to bump draft on the straightaways, and even that outcome doesn't even turn out to be the way that you saw here in the corner. I mean, you even get a chance of a big wreck on the back stretch or the front straightaway, but definitely in the corner. I mean, you're doing what you need to do to put your chess pieces in play to try to prepare for checkmate to be there at the end for the payout window. Lap 99 is when you need to start making moves like that in front of you, William Tiller, not on lap number 27. And in doing so, a lot of drivers, contenders, championships hopes are dashed because of what just happened here.
Yeah, most definitely, Wesley. And I think now all eyes go on to 2 championship drivers still inside of that top 10. And right now it's Sean Hamilton in the 89, who's our race leader, and Chris Blanchard in that 14, who, Tyler, you spoke about earlier, was playing that long game. Now, all of a sudden, that strategy has now been fast-forwarded as now the 14's inside the top 10.
Yeah, that field got a lot thinner, a lot more quickly than he was expecting to. And this is his time. He has to start putting himself in position. We've seen a lot with the trucks in recent years on iRacing that you don't get as big of a runs as you used to. You can't make moves from as far back in the field as you used to be able to. You can start putting yourself in that top 10 earlier on, especially with how thin the field is getting. You can't afford to lose that lead draft, Wesley. You see Chris Blanchard, he was going back in the 20th position. Well, now he's thrust up here inside the top 10.
Well, we'll try this again, obviously. And if you're any of these guys that read that pack, you'll know not to make that mistake again. And as I said, I'm not saying that what he done was bad. It's just too early. It's too early to make a move like that. And I'm sure that there's already been conversations between Kerry Tribute and Barnett. And obviously Kerry Tribute gets the Steve Barnett gets the short end of the stick because he's 2 laps down. Kerry Tribute is ironically still on the lead lap in the number 7 truck, or he's actually fell a lap down. And there's Hess again, as you said, his championships hopes are dashed. Guys, long way to go as we get ready to go back to the Geico restart zone. William Tiller or Tyler Dittmer, I'm sorry. You got to be patient. You need to be here at the end. We don't need to have something like this happen until about 5 to go.
Yeah, and I think maybe these drivers are going to heed that warning here. Back up front, though, the two drivers who really are now point racing each other alone. Sean Hamilton, Robbie Richards. Sean Hamilton will lead the field. So the Geico restarts up. Barria Flatman waves the green. And he's off like a rocket. This field's already starting to splinter apart. You're seeing some damage already affecting a lot of these trucks. Very spaced out here on this restart, not very tight 2x2 like we've seen in the past.
They'll take another lap or so before they get back to speed, and definitely minding their P's and Q's this time on the restart. Inside lane gets the jump. That's going to be Richards now. He licks his chops as he's the new man up in front. Everybody now in tow. Sees Hamilton jump out of line, and Hamilton goes spinning. Hamilton spins. Broadfoot, somebody got through it. Other trucks now getting collected, and just as fast as all this goes on, the 89 to Hamilton made a move, got a little too anxious, obzealous, if you will, and spins the truck out. We still stay green, William Tiller, as they're working their way to you in the 3 and 4.
What is happening? Mr. Wesley out in here. Sean Hamilton, the 89 machine, our race leader just a moment ago. Is that going to get close and comfy there with the inside wall? Just chaos here, Tyler. Things are just unraveling fast here in Sweet Home Talladega, and that looked like a push from Parsons there from the back and just sends the 89 there into the wall.
It was a bad block there from Sean Hamilton. I don't know why he got shoved from the bottom lane all the way to the third lane. Did Robbie Richards hit him bad when they were coming up to speed? I'm not quite sure, Wesley, but it looked like the field kind of just separated, and then Sean Hamilton was by himself. Hunter Parsons coming with a huge run. A poor blocking decision by Sean Hamilton. That'll send his truck around.
And by the way, we're still under the green flag, guys. No caution out yet. Richards is the man that's up in front now, but now he's got Blanchard to deal with up on the outside. Mezza's now stuck his nose in that battle on the top shelf. White to the bottom. Pole truck Broadfoot now sticking his nose into here. And here comes the pink truck. Hunter Parsons also working their way back to start, finish. All of this is going on, guys. Let's catch up where we left off here as they work back off into the corner. Blanchard now powers his truck to the lead. Put now Richards and Blanchard to battle do-si-do. Behind him is going to be White. Meza will follow. Then you've got now Broadfoot and Parsons. These suit 6 trucks now. William Tiller coming to speed now in front of you, and they're starting to slice and dice, but no one now doing anything here to make a crazy move like we just saw a moment ago, as here they work to your way in 3.
Yeah, just like a cutlery set that you buy from Sam's Club or Costco, wherever you love those knives. Just don't cut it right now as these drivers are trying to slice and dice. But look at this run right now out of the 9 machine. Just a big push at a look at that, man. Again, the 37 machine. Wow, Mezza, Tyler. Bro, here late in this season. Trying to make a push now on the top side. Oh, my goodness, Mr. Wesley, and we're back to you.
Well, they'll work their way again back off into the corner down to the inside. Blanchard down to the bottom. Here comes now Richards. He'll fall back 2, 3 spots, maybe more now where Justin White is. Blanchard to the inside. Meza now powers his truck to the lead as they work their way to 3.
Just been absolute chaos early on. We saw Hunter Parsons wreck at the end of stage 1. Will Tiller, no caution. He just got spun around in front of the field. Everyone avoided him then. A lot of attrition has happened since there. And Chris Blanchard, who needed to win tonight to make the Final 4, well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He's leading the race.
Working that field back to the bottom of the racetrack as they cross back across the start-finish line. Blanchard down back to the inside. Put the 9 back to the lead. Richards right there, hugged right behind him. Raul Miz is getting something up. Started on the top side with the pole truck of Brandon Broadfoot, the Millie's Next Gen Coliseum Clash winner. Works the back straight away. Blanchard now breaking away from those drivers, William, as they work the 3.
Oh my goodness, good Raul Mez over there on the top side, trying to get a big push there from Brandon Broadfoot in the 24R pole. Sitter drifted back just a little bit here early on in this race. Now Chris Blanchard leading the way on the low side. Robbie Richards been a top truck here tonight, holding it down inside the top 5. They're on the low side. The low side there, Tyler, separating now from the top. No top side lane as we're going to cross this long front stretch.
Will Chris Blanchard become the Pied Piper of Talladega here tonight? Well, everyone's single file right now on the bottom. Hunter Parsons, though, doesn't like sitting in line. He's going to look to the outside of Justin White. Guess who's going to come with him? That's Raul Meza in the 37. Outside lane reforms just as quickly as it went away, but right now those front three trucks on the bottom holding serve as they go towards Wesley.
Yeah, and Parsons has got help. He's got some company in the likes of the green and white 37 of Meza now to give him a little shot in the putt in the pants to the back straightaway. They stay locked to the outside lane. Everyone else now stays to the inside. Blanchard holds everyone on toe. Parsons now powers. Blanchard gets sideways, drops to the bottom of the apron, pulls up in front of the track. Parsons is wrecked. Parsons and Richards have wrecked. Caution is out.
Hunter wrecked. Raul Meza wrecked. Are all the playoff drivers out? What is going to happen now? I don't see Chris Blanchard anywhere. Did he get in contact as well? Will all 5 drivers have damage? This may have just been the implosion of the entire playoff grid, gentlemen.
Send the crew to the $1.25 tree right now. Get some duct tape, whatever you got to do. Get that truck back out on the racetrack. Because right now, Tyler, I think all you got to do is make sure your truck crosses the start-finish line at the end. You might secure that last playoff or that championship spot.
Kyle Hess has left the server. He's given up, but he doesn't realize that Robbie Richards is out. Robbie Richards had to tow. His truck is done. Robbie Richards is out of this race. Kerry Tribune is 15th, was 2 points behind Robbie Richards, and he may get in with a damaged truck tonight. Sean Hamilton, this helps him. Remember, he just got spun earlier, maybe some light damage, but he got spun, lost the draft entirely. He'll get back up with the field here as we still have many laps to go in stage number 2. Actually, call it about 7 when we go green, hopefully.
Guys, I just saw it all break loose in front of me off the back straightaway. Getting ready to throw it to you, William, in turn number 3. There was just a little punt there, obviously. A little shot there by Richards. Getting into the back of the 2 was, of course, Justin White getting into the shot there on the machine of Blanchard. And Blanchard goes below the apron, drops down on the flat, comes back up in the racetrack. And honestly, it's not Blanchard's fault. That's the demon of what happens when you have something like that happen on the racetrack. That's the gremlin. And he shot back up the racetrack, and then he tags the back of Richards' machine. Robert Richards is probably going to be done. Hunter Parsons more than likely going to be out because he had if he had 9 laps, he just sped them all there a moment ago in that pink number 09 machine. And then, of course, Hunter Parsons, another driver, William Tiller that we or Tyler that we talked about that had such a good run going for him. His truck's now all damaged and battered and smoke bellowing from the rear end.
Yeah, that's Ron Hunter you saw blowing up there. He's done. That looks like Robbie Richards' truck that you just saw tow off the screen on that replay. He's done. Raul Meza is out. Hunter Parsons is out. Kyle Hess is out. Steve Barnett is out. Landon Price is out. Who's left? Kerry Tribune's down pit road for more repairs. Sean Hamilton may still point his way in tonight, gentlemen, with just how this race has gone. I don't know if Chris Blanchard, can we keep a replay on Chris Blanchard? I want to see if he has any contact on him here, because he may be able to point himself in now for all we know.
Yeah, looking at that for sure, Tyler. Chris Blanchard, I was just about to say, every championship driver is off the racetrack. Chris Blanchard is the only one. Looks like he's still there. Sean Hamilton's still riding around at the tail end of the pack there. But Chris Blanchard, we spoke about this off air here tonight, Tyler. He had to win, and he was in scenario. We also talked about to begin this broadcast what I thought was going to be the case, and I thought chaos was going to ensue early.
Going,
we
Adam,
saw
keep
it
going.
already.
I want to see if any of the extra bit keeps going. I'm pretty sure he can keep going through. You see him slow down a lot, but I don't know if he gets any contact. I'm going to assume no contact for Chris Blanchard. So field is reset 2-2 now. We're going to have to figure out who's still left at this point, Wesley and Will, but the field has really just disintegrated in front of our very eyes. You see, here's a great view. Richards just destroyed there. Wow, you might have some damage there on Justin White's 2 machine as well.
Boy, and you look at that right there. And for Parsons, our non-playoff driver here tonight. And guys, we haven't even reached the end of stage number 2. We also talked about Tyler.
We're not halfway either.
Not even halfway, Wesley. We talked about how the end of this race, 54 laps. We talked about how long that was going to be, who driver was going to survive. Guys, we're not even close to that 54 lap marker there at the end. And look at Brett Broadfoot already back up to the top of the grid after getting that pole position.
Yeah, Brandon Broadfoot back up in the at the end when it's all said and done. I tell you what, Tyler, why don't you try to grab Brandon Broadfoot? Let's get his thoughts. He's always great to talk to, man. I know he was ecstatic when he got that first win. I wonder what he's got to be thinking right now. We'll get his thoughts. There's a long way to go for one to go. The lights are off on the pace truck, but let's see if we can get him in here and
we got Brandon Broadfoot in here now, your race leader. He was your pulser. We talked to you in the pre-race, Brandon. The field's pretty much disintegrated in front of our very eyes. What have you seen up front that's led to so many accidents, so on knocking out playoff drivers?
Well, if I want to mention 3 wrecks I've missed between the start of the race at 40 laps, I tell you, I got Lucky Charm underwear on right now, but I don't. But I tell you what, it's been chaotic. I don't know, man. It's a wild card, and hence the name, wild card race. So I'm having fun with it, but my hands are sweaty. I'm nervous. My heart beats up. It's Brandon,
it's Wesley here on the back straightaway, buddy. Would you say that probably some of this racing's definitely being a little too aggressive by some drivers in the early going for sure?
Yeah, I would say with 100 laps, that's a lot of laps around this track. The 3 wide, yeah, that's a little too much, especially when they tried it earlier. I was like, man, I get it, Brady's in the Final 4, but 3 wide, man, that's just way too early for my comfort. I was thinking about dropping back to the back, but I'm holding my ground now, and hopefully we can get a good stage win here, or a good position in the stage. But good to have you, though, Wesley. I love when you announce the races, man.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you very much. Well, it's an honor to be here with you guys as well. I think Tyler and William do a phenomenal job, and you hang in there, brother. You're about to come back to the Geico restart zone.
Thank you, sir.
That is your current race leader, Brandon Broadfoot. To his outside, he has Tyler Daniels, and we haven't talked about much tonight. Then row 2, Blake Lothian, Adam Newbert. Row 3, Chris Blanchard, Nate Maurer. Drivers who they're locked in for sure now with all the chaos we've had, gentlemen. But we're going to go back here racing to end stage 2. Just about 6 laps to go here in the stage when we get the green flag. Brandon Broadfoot in the Geico restart zone. He hits the gas. Barney the flagman waves that green flag. We're back racing here in the over-the-top designs. 200 here as the field races off towards Wesley Outland there in turns 1 and 2.
Here's the deal. You got less than 60 laps to go. Let's man up and be out of trouble here to get to the end. Remember the old cliche, to first win the race, you must first finish. A lot of big contenders are out of the show. Broadfoot now powers back to speed. It'll take about a lap for these guys to get back to full song. Blake Lothian, the Massachusetts driver, Blanchard in tow. Right there, top 3 as they go to 3 there in front of you, William.
Yeah, top 3 now going to lead the charge. The inside lanes, now the preferred lane. Adam Newbert, though, the money man, now back in the mix there. The 4th position you're starting to see now way top side. They're starting to be built up. Now it's starting to lead the charge there. Tyler Daniels going to get flushed out of there as now we're ripping down this long front stretch here at Talladega.
Nate Maurer wants nothing to do with this lead pack. After all the chaos he's seen, he's going to go to the apron and get way out of dodge. Sean Hamilton, though, he's going to make it 3 wide. He wants some stage points because he realizes the door is open and there's money to be cashed to make that championship 4. If he can get stage points, he can put himself in the catbird seat. And all he has to do is make sure Chris Blanchard doesn't win the race the remainder of the night.
Like a hot dog flying right out of the bun. Lothian now under attack. He now has some company from the inside lane. That's going to be the machine of the 24 Broadfoot. Hamilton, though, up on the outside. He battles now with the help of White with a push. They're going to go 3 wide for the lead in front of you in 3.
Oh my goodness, just like me climbing stairs at a water park, I am nervous about the top side of this grid right now. It is so sketchy as we come off of quarter number 4 right now. Boys, just keep it clean. Let's get to end of stage number 2 here as we're down the front stretch.
We're looking for the end of lap 46, gentlemen. Meanwhile, that bottom lane's getting dicey. Almost 4 wide for a second. White thought better of it. Sean Hamilton, your new race leader that time by. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That would be a huge upset for him, and he'd put himself inside the championship 4 with a win.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Hamilton and White now trying to get something organized up on the top side. Also, Jonathan Wiley will stick it up in there on the top and make it now 4 trucks up on the top shelf for the safer barrier. Hamilton now hung out to dry in the middle lane. Here comes the inside lane go. Broadfoot holding off Blanchard. They work the 3.
As I'm becoming more and more nervous of whether or not we're going to make it to the end of stage number 2 under green, guys. Things are getting crazy right now as Hamilton has to check up there on the middle lane there. That's Bullock there in the 17 machine, but all things are calm, cool, and collected at the top side as the 24 is still leading the way.
Brandon Broadfoot's got Chris Blanchard right behind him. Chris Blanchard, well, he's happy to ride here in the stage because as long as Hamilton's still in this race, Blanchard cannot point his way and he has to win this race. Hamilton very much in this race. Kerry Tribune back inside the top 10. Now he's in the 9th position there on the inside lane. Jonathan Wiley up there around the 5th position in front of Sean Hamilton. Tyler Daniels, a name we haven't heard from much. Brian Chu, a name we haven't heard from much, is there with Will in the back.
3 trucks there make their way to the back straight away. They break out of line just a moment. Hamilton will. And now you got them where they were single file fight were 6 trucks. Now they're door-to-door wheel back off of 3.
No, you got it, Wesley, right now as things are getting more and more dicey here in this very, very tight pack as we're still racing there on the inside lane. Still no pressure, though, for Brian Broadfoot in the 24 machine, so leading the way down the front stretch.
Meanwhile, still Brandon Broadfoot, no company yet on the outside, but, oh, wow, Justin White, tight side draft there on the door of Brian Chu. That's going to be 3 wide behind. Sean Hamilton goes to the outside. 2 laps to go here in stage number 2. As they go back towards Wesley in turns 1 and 2.
The Ricky Bobby truck of Brandon Broadfoot stays hugged to the bottom of the double yellow line. Hamilton got loose for a moment, drifted up and behind the back of the tailgate of White's machine. They'll go 3 wide behind the top 4. Broadfoot, Blanchard, Chu, Brian Chu now to the 3rd spot. Tyler Daniels will follow. As they work to 3.
If we're nervous and sweating, only imagine what these drivers are feeling behind the wheel of these trucks here tonight, as now we are single file line all the way around 3 and 4 right now. We're going to get the 1 to go here in stage number 2.
Look who's there in that 5th position. That's Kerry Tribune. He can't get up in front of Justin White, Sean Hamilton. They're tandem drafting down the front straightaway. They get a big, big push here down the front straightaway. They get 1 to go here in stage number 2. White and Hamilton, they're going to look for the race lead as they go towards Wesley.
Final time off into the corner in stage number 2. Points are up for grabs, and White's licking his chops, ready to pounce on them. Broadfoot down to the inside. Blanchard throws the block. He stays to the inside. Now Chu goes up, and he loses ground. Hamilton and Daniels will reel those machines in as they shut the door on Hamilton. He about slapped the safer barrier. He runs down White as they bob and weave for the final time in stage 2 to 3.
Those two.
Yeah. Yeah, as we come off of 3 and 4 right now, Brian Broadfoot in the 24. Tyler still leading the way on the inside. Top side still trying to form up something. So trying to form up a run here as we come down the front stretch.
Chris Blanchard gets to the outside of Brandon Broadfoot. Can he pull him back in time at the line? It's going to be a drag race down here for the end of stage number 2. At the line, Blanchard, I'm going to call it.
Blanchard will get it done, it looks like, as they work back off into the corner. Look at Blanchard, and now they await the caution flag. How about this, guys? What a crazy stage 2 for Chris Blanchard. He was in the penthouse to the outhouse, now back to the penthouse again. That's a nice way to describe it.
Just a wild end to stage 2. We're going to get the replay here from the instant replay on the pole. Sponsored here. And we're going to look at this end. It was 0.06 of a second coming across the line between Blanchard. Wow, look at the queen. That was just as close as you can get. Call it a front fender.
Yeah, gentlemen, and for Blanchard here, that's exactly what he needs to keep doing. We've spoken about it a few times here tonight. He needs to win and get in. So a long way to go here, but with a big stage victory right there.
And boys, we're ready now for stage number 3. If you're going to get aggressive, now's the time to do it. Not the first 2 stages. Stage number 3 is when you're ready to make that run to put everything into place to go to the win. Put yourself at the payout window for the pay of the purse money. But not only that, decide who's going to go to the championship for the race finale coming up next week. And I'll tell you what, this right, and this is the reason Tyler Dittmer and William Tiller, I told Brady LaBeouf when he asked me about doing the race at Talladega, I'm like, bro, I love Talladega. I love restrictor plate racing. I just love the strategy that comes along with it. And I think we're going to set ourselves up, William, for definitely Tyler Dittmer, a crazy race here when we settle in for stage 3 at the green.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick 30 to 45-second break as these drivers have come down pit road, get fresh tires and fuel, and we'll be back, and I'll give you a quick update on your remaining points battle between Sean Hamilton and Kerry Tribute. And Chris Blanchard, maybe was that a preview of something he needs to do later on tonight on the last lap to win and knock himself into the playoffs? We'll have to wait and see. We'll be back after about a 45-second minute break. I can't find a way to interview the voice chats. Right now, Tribute. We're back live here in the Over the Top Designs 200 in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to look at your playoff grid. We already have Bray LaBeouf locked in coming in tonight. You can move Adam Newbert, Nathan Maurer into your championship four. So those top two drivers below Bray LaBeouf and that Elite Eight, move them onto your championship four. Right now, Kyle Hess, Robbie Richards, they are out. Their trucks are in the garage. They are done for the night. Those two drivers are eliminated. Looking at the points battle, Kerry Tribute is 10 points ahead of Sean Hamilton right now. So right now, Kerry Tribute is penciled in that last championship four spot. Sean Hamilton is 10 points out, but Chris Blanchard, your stage 2 winner, we saw him practice that move that he might use again on that final lap. He wins. He knocks out Tribute and Hamilton, and this whole point is mute. But Tribute tonight can lock himself in just by finishing above of Hamilton and Blanchard not winning the race, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. I mean, Tyler, what more can we ask for? A 20-week regular season. We're coming down to the final 2 races of the season. Things are so crazy, so chaotic here. We're not even in the final stretch of this race where even more chaos, even more calamity is going to play out here in the NASRA 360 Racing Network here. And this is a full booth here tonight, guys. And this is myself, William Taylor, Tyler Dittmer, of course, and Wesley Allen. And guys, I think I know why they put 3 of us here in the booth here tonight. It's been nonstop action from the drop of the green flag.
It really has. And, you know, the selling point here, guys, is you got the 3 drivers that are 1, 2, 3 in the NASRA Sim Racer Hub truck points. Obviously, they deserve to go there. They've done it. They paid their dues. But that final spot up for grabs, don't count out Sean Hamilton. Don't count out Gary Tribune, and don't count out either Blanchard, because any of these guys are going to do any and everything they can, William Tiller, to put themselves in the catbird seat, Tyler Dittmer, to win a championship spot in this final opportunity. And like I said, you're now officially getting to lap 50. This is when you lay your cards on the table, place your bets. This is how you decide who's going to go to the race for Chicago for a championship, Tyler.
Yeah, and you see Gary Tribune will lead the field to the green, one of your 3 drivers who can still get it done. Jason Morales to his outside, about ready to go green. Looks like Tribune messed up that start, went going, and then stopped. That might be a restart violation for the number 7, not realizing where the restart zone was. That was absolutely insane to see there. Jason Morales, though, gets the big jump, and behind him, he's got Brandon Broadfoot again. Those two are going to go to the lead. Tribune does have a black flag, I believe.
Yeah, there's a penalty coming for the number 7, Gary Tribune, and it's upsetting for him now all the while. Here comes now Brandon Broadfoot. He'll power back up in. Hamilton on the outside. He'll carry it out. Dane Hagen with him in the NASA colors. All these drivers quickly getting back to 3 wide in a hurry, Tyler, as they work their way to you into turn number 3.
Passing it over to Will here in turn 3 and 4. Will, the action's hot and heavy. They're 3 wide throughout the field.
Yeah, Jason Morales, as a fan in the chat, watches along with us here on the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series every Monday night. Loves to see that 5 machine leading the way here at Talladega. Jason Morales still the race leader. A huge charge out of Hamilton, the 89 on the top side.
Sean Hamilton loves to make those charges to the front. Can this one finally be the one that sticks? We'll have to wait and see. But can Chris Blanchard have a Christopher Bell-like moment last season in the NASCAR Cup Series in Martinsville, Wesley Outland, and win and lock himself into the championship 4?
Here comes Hamilton, though. He'll power that Burgundy 89 truck from the outside to the inside, working off 2. He puts it to the lead. Justin White right behind him. This 2-truck tandem, William, working your way to 3 as Morales, Broadfoot, and Hagen start to get organized and get into order.
Yeah, we've seen this all night long, that top 2 can get together, link up, so to say. They can lead the way on the top side. The 89s loving that he has Justin White in the 2 machine. Justin White here in this series coming on late as one of those contenders for the next season here. Watch out, the championship hopes didn't happen this season for the 2, but right now pushing the 89 not long here down the front stretch.
This is the most single file we've seen from the field in a long time. Wesley and Will. Wesley, as they work towards you in 1 and 2. Maybe we'll see a long, calm green flag run here in stage number 3.
Yeah, it looks like Hagen's trying to get something started. As you're seeing now, the entire cavalry of trucks working their way. You better stay up with the front pack, Adam Flieger. Here comes now Hamilton. White's right there. Here to the inside goes Morales. Morales will scoot up in front of Broadfoot's machine. Meanwhile, here comes that outside lane. Hagen powers his way, William. He's got Bullock as a wingman to go to 3.
Just like a rocket launching off a launch pad 39A, Dan Hagen right now is trying to launch that 39 to the top of the grid, trying to make some friends on the top side. The 17 truck's trying to push him along, although the 89 of Hamilton still leading the way here down the front stretch, Tyler.
I don't know the viability of this gentleman, but something to keep note of. Fuel window tonight is 26 to 31 laps. Stage number 3, well over 50 laps. We may have green flag stops, and we'll see how that will play into the action as they go towards Wesley off of turn number 2.
Working up again, Hagen up on the outside. He'll get back to Hamilton's back door. Here comes now the machine of Broadfoot. He's on the tailgate of the Morales entry. Morales now right behind White. Do-si-do, 2 by 2. When do you make your move as they climb the banking to 3?
Yeah, right now, Jason Morales in the 5. We love riding on board with these drivers here in the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Gives us this first-hand point of view what these drivers have to put up here at Talladega. And right now, Tyler, these drivers are starting to bounce along here. They're going to have those freshies on these trucks, but you just talked about those green flag pit stops. Watch as we have that Yahtzee reshuffle as we across that Geico restart zone.
And a lot of these green flag stops may be for fuel only. A lot of drivers have made 2 or 3 stops. They only had 3 sets of tires to work with tonight. If they took tires on both their first 2 stops, they have none left to work with. 50-plus laps in the hot Talladega sun, Wesley. That's going to be a tough task on these drivers.
And remember, there's also going to be probably that green flag pit stop that's going to be a crazy equation to determine the outcome as well. Hamilton with White down to the bottom. Hagen with the help of also Tribune trying to get back to the bottom with Bullock. And now Hagen makes the outside lane work for him as he works his way to 3.
Yeah, Hagan holding it down there on the top side is going to lose the lead for just a split second. Sean Hamilton still going to lead the way on the low side. I'm liking the speed, though, on the top side here, Tyler. Late in this race, starting to see some more drivers prefer that top side.
Yeah, that top lane's going to get more and more busy as these trucks start to handle worse and worse in this Talladega sun. And especially if they have no tires, Wesley, they're going to lose a lot of grip in these trucks. You may see that outside lane start to power through as they work towards you off of 2.
Oh, yeah, being ready to work off of that second corner, and they're going to be storming at speed now. They're at full song. Everybody stays hugged to the bottom of the racetrack. The outside lane led by Hagan, inside by Hamilton. They're still right there, do-si-doing, 2 by 2. No one breaks out of line as they climb the banking to 3.
Yeah, as we're rolling around 3 and 4 right now, one thing to talk about, guys, our top 3 on the grid. Top 4, though, big movers here in this race. 89, Sean Hamilton up 11 spots. Dan Hagan, the 39, up 19 spots. Justin White up 10 spots. Brandon Bullock in the 17 truck up 16 spots. From the drop of the green flag, these hard chargers leading the way here across the start-finish line.
And a lot of that, Will, is due to the calamity we have seen. But despite all the calamity, we still have 16 trucks on the lead lap and within 2 seconds of the race leader, Sean Hamilton, right now.
And a pretty fairly good green flag run as well, Tyler, right now. Back into the corner into 1 and 2. They come storming down the back straightaway now in front of my broadcast position. No one jumping out of line. Hamilton and Hagan are now in a stalemate. No one making any moves. This is what they should have done the first 2 stages. There might have been more trucks, William Tiller battling here at the end.
Yeah, coming around 3 and 4 right now. Tyler waiting for this pace to pick up. When do you start to see these drivers start to pull out of line?
I think you have to wait until after the green flag stop. The green flag stop is most likely going to be a fuel-only stop for a lot of these drivers who have already used their 2 sets of 4 Goodyear tires tonight. You're going to see all these drivers fuel-only. How many of these trucks stay together after these green flag splash and dashes or full tank fill-ups the rest of the way? And do they get extra fuel for a green-white checkered, Wesley? Seeing how this race has gone, I would assume yes.
You better put yourself in the catbird seat to be ready to go into overtime if we have to go and extend it, especially after the crazy chaos and mayhem we saw in the first 2 stages. I think everything right now is the calm before the storm as Kerry Tribune jumps out of line. He goes from the middle lane to the outside lane, and he tries to get something going 3 wide on Broadfoot in 3.
And Carriage Tribune's just going to be left all by himself right there, just like a kid in a group project. You're looking for partners. Everybody else is partnered up. Carriage Tribune said, I want friends to work with here in this race. Nobody wants to work with the 7 as he gets flushed out of this lead pack as the 89 still leading the way across the start-finish line.
Yeah, Kerry Tribune went from up inside the top 6 to now sitting on the outside of the top 10 and 11. And that means as the points, as they run, Sean Hamilton would be your driver advancing because he's up 10 positions on Kerry Tribune, and he would win the race. He would have the best finish, and of course the win would lock him in as they work towards the
Don't count out Blanchard, though. Blanchard's trying to get back into that battle. Also, Tyler Dittmer, as he's now powered his way into the Elite 8, back straightaway. Tribune falls back. Blanchard's now in the game. Hamilton leads, but Hagan is still in a stalemate on the outside. Tiller as they go to 3.
Yeah, I want to see how long this can stay together right now, just like a Jenga puzzle piece. You're just building blocks one after the other. You begin to pull pieces out. As Tyler, you talked about that tire wear could be those pieces starting to fail on these drivers. Right now, Dan Hagan's finding some speed on the top side.
Dan Hagan in that NASA paint scheme number 39 has found speed late, and it may be in part due to having a mostly clean truck. He's avoided a lot of the calamity, Wesley. Meanwhile, though, Sean Hamilton has been involved in calamity, and he's up here leading that inside lane, Wesley.
And Blanchard just kind of being a stalled kitten down there to the inside, ready to make his move, but right now he's on pause. He's ready to pounce, but win. Down the back straightaway. Hamilton stays to the double yellow line. He's got Justin White right there with him. Hagan now outside lane with a push there by Bullock. He'll power to the lead to the outside in the corner with the help of Broadfoot as well.
Yeah, top side, though, dissipates right now around the apex at 3 and 4. You saw that, everybody. That's going to kill the speed on the top side. See, the inside lane right now is going to roll. Now the yellow line being led by Sean Hamilton. And we're going to have a drag race at the start-finish line.
I'm a little bit worried, guys, about that 7 of the Carriage Tribune machine. He lost a little bit of that tight draft, and he has been falling back, losing time lap after lap. He's lost about 2 to 3 tenths each lap. He's going to get picked up by this train of 5 trucks behind him. but they're going to have such a big run. Do they just go to the outside and leave them high and dry? No, it looks like Nate Maurer is going to stay in line for now.
Yeah, Maurer, Newbert, Lothian, Chu, Lumpkin, some of those drivers that are in that pack. We're finally going to run down the 7 of Kerry Tribune. The smart thing to do, William Tiller, is to let them hook up at speed, get single file, and punch the first pack. But I don't think that's going to happen as Kerry Tribune out of the bottom. Maurer makes on his own move as he goes to the outside to 3. Carries Newbert, Lothian with him in the corner.
And what could just be considered a nightmarish race for Kerry Tribune in the 7. He watches that herd of drivers. Look at Nathan Maurer right there, Adam Newbert, Blake Lothian. Now he just has to find some friends. He's not finding any on the racetrack right now, as now Kerry Tribune will be all by himself on the tail end of his pack.
I think they realize that that truck is severely wounded, and maybe that early on damage of Kerry Tribune's machine is finally paying dividends here. Yeah, he's lost a lot of power. He's going to lose that draft here, Wesley, on the back straight.
Can you say hopes, dreams dashed, diminished, and a chance at the championship 4? While that goes on, Dane Hagen leads the NASA machine down to the leader with Bullock in tow as they work to 3.
Yeah, 39 machines leading the inside lane. Brandon Bullock right there in the 17 truck. And who would have thought here, Tyler, 2 races left in the season, we'd see these 2 drivers leading the way off of 4. But you got to think, though, that quicksand starting to fall out of the hourglass. That green flag pit stop is creeping up on these drivers.
Yeah, like we said earlier, 26 to 31. We're at about 38 to go as they cross the stripe this time by with 62 laps complete on lap 63. Wesley, I'm expecting pit stops anywhere in the next 15 to 20 laps. Most likely you'd want to see drivers split this stage in 2.
Yeah, I'm thinking around lap 75 or 80, the pit window will be open for service. And if anybody wants to pray for a caution, do so right about that time. Or we're going to see green flag pit stops, and it is totally going to put everything in flux. Right now, Hagen the leader, Bullock, Hamilton 1, 2, and 3. Hamilton doing what he needs to do to go to the dance, holding off Blanchard as they go to 3.
And Tyler, one thing to mention as well for some of these drivers, you know, you might not have to win all season long. You've been through the ringer, so to say, 20 weeks in. To win at Talladega, the second to last race of the season, would just feel like winning a championship for some of these drivers here inside the top 5 as a 39 machine. Dane Hagen takes us into one.
Speaking of championships, Kerry Tribune actually did end up catching that tail end of that long train, so he's still in the fight, ladies and gentlemen, especially my friends here in the broadcast booth. He's still in it. Don't count him out quite just yet.
Yeah, I just think right now he's looking for a caution or possibly those green flag pit stops and to try to find somebody to go with them. It's a conveyor belt with a kaleidoscope of virtual colors now down the back straightaway for the first time as the conga line works into 3.
That's just like Freddie Mercury once said, I'm just trying to find somebody, and he can't find anybody on the racetrack right now as we're still single file rolling off of corner number 4.
Yeah, these drivers finally doing something maybe they should have considered doing earlier on in stages 1 and 2. Maybe we'd have more playoff drivers competing here at the end, and that's getting single file. Maybe call Dan Hagen the Pied Piper of Talladega. The drivers seem to be playing well with each other at this point in time. Seems pretty content to ride behind that number 39 machine.
Yeah, and Bullock is right there behind Hagen's machine. He seems comfortable. So is Justin White. Blanchard also right there, climbing comfortably into the top 6. Morales, LaBeouf, by the way. Hey, a man that's in the championship 4 doesn't mean he doesn't want to win. He's methodically put himself into the top 10 again in the 3.
Yeah, right now it's just still single file on the low side. You start to see a little bit of something building up on the top side lane right there. I'm trying to catch a glimpse of that truck on there. It looks like Brian Broadfoot in the 24 machine trying to find some plays up there on the top side, although he's just showing all by himself right now, and that's okay. He's got the me on the Cougar on the hood right now, Tyler. Feeling good, feeling confident here tonight.
And it's working. He's not losing ground. You'd argue he's holding still or maybe even gaining some ground because that inside line isn't super tight. He's able to get a side draft down on the few trucks that are tight together. He's actually going to gain a position if he can get down in front of Chris Blanchard in time. Will he? Nope, doesn't get the job done quick enough.
No, he's not able to do that. It looks like he's lost some ground. Blanchard not going to back off 1 iota down to the inside of the racetrack. And Hagen is still going to keep these drivers in tow below the line as they work their way below the double yellow line. They don't cross that line, but they stay single file, though, coming out of 3.
Yeah, coming off a 3 right now, starting to see some separation for the first time tonight, Tyler. Top 2 down, starting to separate from the 89 and Hamilton, who now has to watch out just a little bit for the 24 Broadfoot, who's starting to sneak up on the top side.
Again, Brandon Broadfoot does it by himself throughout 3 and 4. A little bit down the back straight, did a side draft off Tyler Daniels when it looked like Blanchard was going to close that door. Didn't affect Broadfoot at all. He was able to get back that position. He's going to side draft off Justin White here. If he can suck that 2 machine back, maybe he can gain another spot down the back straightaway by Wesley.
Hagan, Bullock, Hamilton stay to the inside. White will follow as well, mimicking his Broadfoot battling Daniels. They're 2 by 2 to the back stretch. Broadfoot on his own top side of the racetrack. Now breaking out of line comes another truck. Here comes Daniels. Morales will break out of line and go with also the driver of the number 24 Broadfoot to 3.
The 5 machine, he said, "Andale, amigos," as he's pulling Brady LaBeouf, the boss man, the 9 machine right there, trying to link up with Brian Bradford and the 24, who's very patient there on the top side, waited for the cavalry to come there, now pushing the 24 on the top side.
Only problem is those 2 trucks pushing him are both damaged from incidents early on, but if they can get enough of a push there, that outside lane, Brandon Broadfoot can pull them along as they're going to get to Wesley off of 2.
2, 3, 4 trucks are better than 1. The outside lane is coming to fruition now. It's starting to work. Here comes Broadfoot now, squealing down to the bottom. He'll carry Morales. He'll carry LaBeouf. Here comes a 4th truck. They're trying to gang up on the trucks on the bottom into 3.
Yeah, right now things are getting very dicey right now as you see Jason Morales in the 5 on the top side lane, trying to sneak up through the top 5 right now. Stan Hagan in the 39, so leads the way off of 4.
Off of 4 they come. Brandon Broadfoot now side by side with Justin White, make it a 4 truck. That's Jonathan Wiley there on the outside lane. Further back in that second pack, being led by Nate Maurer, they have Adam Newbert, Blake Lothian, Brian Chu, Justin Lumpkin, Kerry Tribute. Those 6 trucks a little bit behind this lead pack, but Brandon Broadfoot's coming. That outside lane starting to form up just a little bit better, Wesley, as they work towards you off of 2.
About to get to 30 laps to go as well, and the action is definitely going to get intense here down the stretch. Dan Hagan still stays to the bottom of the racetrack. Brandon Bullock is right there in tow. You're on board with Blanchard. Blanchard, the main driver, now being passed by a driver that's already in the championship for Chicago. LaBeouf, he's with Morales, he's with Broadfoot, the pole truck, and they work the outside to 3.
Yeah, riding on board with Chris Blanchard in the 14 machine here on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. Chris Blanchard still in the mix here tonight. Has to win to secure that last championship for playoff position. But Tyler, as the rest of the field has been demolished here tonight, Chris is all of a sudden in the mix here across the start-finish line.
This is the most momentum the outside lane has had yet since they've gone single file. Brandon Broadfoot to the outside of Dan Hagan as they enter 1 and 2. Can he get the position battle going here as they work towards Wesley down the back straightaway? They're going to be even for second, Brandon Bullock and Brandon Broadfoot.
And if we don't get a caution flag sometime soon, green flag pit stops also about less than 10 laps away as well. Hagan still stays to the bottom. Bullock is right there. Broadfoot trying to make something get organized on the top. He's got help, but no one is still breaking out of line to make a run to the leader. Hagan into 3.
Oh, I'm getting so nervous right now, guys. Up here in the booth, we got green flag pit stops about to ensue. That could be the decider of our championship for right now. Lap 70 of 100 here in the second to last race of the season. The 39 machine of Dan Hagan leads the way.
They're going to catch the lap truck of Ron Hunter, the 30 machine. He'll go all the way to the top side. No, he doesn't feel comfortable enough to go to the top. He's going to run that middle lane. These drivers need to get down in single file really quick, or this might be a big problem for that lead pack. Ron Hunter needs to go high. Will he do so as they work towards Wesley?
He'll open up the door to the outside, says step right up, come on in, boys, take to the inside. He'll do that. Broadfoot will be the only odd man out and stay up on the top side. Everyone else now peeling to the bottom. They had no choice as they work the 3. It's still Hagan, the leader in the corner.
Yeah, we're on 3 and 4 here, 71 laps into this race. Dan Hagan still leading the way. You're starting to see, though, things starting to just a little bit there on the top side lane. Brandon Broadfoot still all by himself, still looking for more friends. This is 39, so leads the way down the front stretch.
Yeah, but these drivers are going to start migrating from that top line. Everyone else is on the bottom. Brandon Broadfoot needs to get to the bottom. He wants to be able to make green flag stops without maybe causing an incident or taking himself out. These drivers are going to start looking for it. We have 29 laps to go here in the over-the-top designs 200. pit window is open. Drivers might be coming this time by. It sounds like some chatter over the driver's radio.
Yeah, there's definitely some conversations. Who's going to peel off? Who's going to stay on? And again, what drivers have made friends or foes? You want to enter the pits with an ally or a teammate. You don't want to go at it alone as they work 3, and massive cloud cover also over the racetrack into the corner.
Yeah, right now the 24 machine of Braun Bodfoot has to be getting sweaty behind the wheel of that 24 machine. He's trying to look for a hole, look for an opportunity right now. You're in that right-hand lane trying to make a right on red situation. He can't find that hole right now, Tyler. He's trying to find it right now and make it up 74-1.
First 2 lead lap drivers did come down this time by. That's Nate Maurer and Adam Newbert. They are both down the pit road. There's just 2 of them. That's not great unless they can really tandem draft well together. Otherwise, they will get left behind this pack as they work towards Wesley off of 2.
Yeah, these are the guys that are in the back of the race right now. Newbert and Maurer right now. We know Mauer's going to the Dance Floor Championship next week at Chicagoland. The question is on the front pack, who peels off, who peels on, and when will it happen? Right now, again, massive cloud cover. This is really changing these trucks, fighting clouds in the corners, sun on the straightaway, William, as they work the U out of 4.
Yeah,
Here they come.
Thinking about it here, one thing that I noticed last time by there, Wesley, as the tail end of the grid's going to head down pit road here, is that Brandon Bullock in the 17 and Sean Hamilton 8 and 9 were faster than our race leader. They were checking up there, so watch down if they head down pit road.
Interesting to see how the driver strategy that time by. Blake Lothian, Justin Lumpkin, Carrot Tribute, Brian Shu all came down for their final service. The money stops are happening right now, Wesley. The field works to you off 2. Who will come down this time by?
And some of these guys are also looking to try to go for the undercut if you can. Pit before these other leaders will. But right now, Dan Hagan, Bullock, Hamilton, White, Daniels, sounds like a law firm. That's the way the top 5 are as they stay in tow to you, William, to 3.
And this is the time that I like to say it's the Yahtzee reshuffle of the grid. We're going to see new leaders. We're going to see trucks staying out there, pushing the envelope. We're going to see those 3 waves of pit stops. We just saw wave 1 here. Wave 2 is going to be these race leaders. As you see the 17 truck thought about it there. No, pulled back into that. And then we're going to have wave 3. Those drivers going to stay out there, lead some laps here at Talladega. Those shiny laps, so to say, here at Talladega. And then they'll head down pit road. I am curious to see who's going to win that race off pit road.
Something to keep your eye on, guys, while we're looking through these laps is lap times. Adam Uber and Nate Maurer should be up to speed by now. Their second lap out on track. Leader last time ran a 53.77. We're waiting to see what Newbert and Maurer run as we work down the back straightaway.
We know that the leaders are going to have to pit. The question is not if, but when. Down the back straightaway. It's Hagan still rare to the inside. Bullock will follow. Hamilton trying to lay all the cards on the table to put himself for that final championship 4 spot as they work to 3 and come to 25 to go.
Yeah, still wait for the leaders to head down pit road now as we're waiting to see the 17 truck. Thinks about it every time we go by the entry of pit road there, Tyler. Must be communicating with the 39, Dan Hagan.
Yeah, leaders last lap by were about 0.2 faster than Newbert and Maurer, but it looks like Newbert and Maurer have found speed on this lap as they've hooked up with Lothian, Lumpkin, and company. Brian Shu and Carey Tribute got left off the back. They're 3 seconds behind that pack of 6. So now it's just a pack of 4 as the main field works its way down the back straightaway.
Remember, we mentioned sometime between laps 70 and 80 is when the pit window would open. They've got to go somewhere within that window. The tanks have got to be draining dry on fuel for the leaders right now. Dan Hagan still stays to the inside. The conga line of 6 trucks. No one jumping out of line. Who is going to peel off? They're not showing no signs of stopping right now as they get ready to work off turn 4.
Yeah, still coming off the corner right now. We'll see if they head down pit road here. No, they do not. Dan Hagan still leads the way. We're going to make it less than 24 laps to go here in Sweet Home Talladega.
They need to pit now. They were a second slower than those 4 trucks chasing them last time by. Make it even slower. They ran 54.2s last time by. That 4-truck pack ran 53 flats. So these leaders have to come in soon or they're going to find themselves way behind this group of 4 that you see on screen now of Newbert, Maurer, Lothian, and Lumpkin.
And by the way, those drivers, of course, right now, about 40 seconds back behind the leader of Dan Hagan. Hagan to the back straightaway, works his way to the inside. Bullock, Hamilton, same follow. White, Wiley battle side by side. Daniels, Broadfoot, William also to 3.
Yeah, coming off of the corner right now. We'll see if these leaders head down. No slowing, no trucks down in the apron. Just they're coming down right now. Oh my goodness, it's just Dan Hagan, the 17 truck, Brandon Bullock. Big pack stays out on the racetrack.
Split the field in two, essentially, from that lead pack, and that may actually end up hurting them even more. Those 4 lead trucks, 2 playoff drivers already locked in, 2 non-playoff drivers. They may be ahead of this entire field when this is all said and done, gentlemen. As we work through the main field, the leader's still on track. That's Sean Hamilton as they come off of 2 head towards Wesley.
I'll be honest with you, Tyler, if we don't get a caution flag, you're going to see now probably 3-4 different packs of traffic all around this 2.66 mile speedway. Nonetheless, Hamilton, when does he pit? He stays to the inside with White following in 3.
Yeah, Hamilton right there. He was going to be my sleeper pick. Had you asked me here tonight, Teller, I was impressed by the runs of the 89. Now down pit road with that second pack.
That's the big problem, though. Brady LaBeouf and everyone who came down with him, they're almost a tenth or a quarter of a lap behind that lead pack of 4. We'll have to see where these top drivers come out. There's your front 4 leaders, and there's the front of the pack that just came in. They are way off the pace, not even up to speed yet. Those lead 4 trucks are working their way towards 3 and 4, but right now the leaders are on the front straightaway getting their service. Will they have a quick enough stop? It looks like Chris Blanchard might have missed his stall.
Wow, that's heartbreak for Chris Blanchard, one of those guys that were already trying to go to the championship for, needing a good race. He overshoots his pit stall, and all the while, this is going to cycle back around in 20 seconds. The drivers of Adam Newbert, Nate Maurer, Blake Lothian, they're going to be right there, right with the leaders as they work off of turn 2. But remember, though, Tyler, when they come off the pit lane, they cannot come back onto the racetrack until they hit the blend line in front of yours truly, down the back straightaway, the blue cone.
And that's going to be the end of those races. Chris Blanchard misses stall entirely. He still has to make a pit stop, doesn't have enough gas to make it to the end. Meanwhile, the only 2 drivers who maybe are within an earshot, that's Sean Hamilton, Justin White, but those are only 2 trucks versus the 4 very powerful trucks of Adam Newbert, 8 Maurer, Blake Lothian, and Justin Lumpkin, as they're with Will in 3 and 4.
And then we're looking at right now, Sean Hamilton, the 89 truck in the 6th position, would be our final championship driver. Sean Hamilton just has to keep that truck clean, and he would be racing at Chicagoland for a championship.
I still think he's actually not in, being in 6th. He needed 10 more points than Kerry Tribute. Kerry Tribute right now in the 13th position would get in over Sean Hamilton. Hamilton needs to catch this lead pack.
And guys, I would even say that much. I'll be the pardon the pun spoiler of both of those names. Don't count out also the driver of Blanchard. He could possibly get in. Kerry Tribute, Hamilton, any of these 3 guys still have a shot at the final 4. And that's if the LRC, the late race caution, comes out. Right now, they're all scrambled all around the racetrack. But Adam Newbert is the man leading into 3.
Yeah, right now, Newbert, the money man here, the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series leading our regular season champion, Nathan Maurer, the 971. They're leading the way here as we're going to check back in with Brady LaBeouf and Dan Hagan here. Big pack of trucks here, Tyler, mixing it up inside the top 10.
Yeah, but they need to get single file. They want to catch anyone up front. Chris Blanchard, meanwhile, got put a lap down, but he's going to catch this front group of 4, so there'll be a lap behind these trucks, but he can at least, race with them. Maybe he gets a caution. He'll be the lucky dog as the lead truck as long as none of these lead 4 trucks wreck.
Go time at Talladega as right now we are settling in at 20 laps to go. The question is, who is going to make the move? Do we get a late race caution? Will we get a late race caution? Will an aggressive move happen to change the entire complexion of this race? Right now, we don't know. It's Newbert, Maurer, Lothian, 1, 2, and 3 as they work to bank it into 3. I know at least 2 out of 3 trucks are from Swim.
Yeah, Swim definitely the team here all season long in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. Adam Newbert, the money man, have very good run here. I think he won about 3 or 4 races in a row, or he went on a stretch of 6 for 8 there, Tyler. Very impressive run from the 4. Although Nathan Maurer, our regular season champion, was very cold here in these playoffs, has done enough to be one of those championship drivers, but here tonight going for a race win.
Yeah, that front pack of 4 has 3 of 4 Swim drivers. Blake Lothian's a part-timer for Sick With It Motorsports. The odd man out, that's Nate Maurer for Brute Force. Or I believe Brute Force Motorsports, Wesley.
And Broadfoot now falling back now to the 8th, 9th spot. He now falls back to 10th. All the while, all of this happening with the leader, Newbert, up in front. Nate Maurer, though, remember, Lothian, Lumpkin, 1, 2, 3, and 4. They're right there with each other as they work to your way, Tyler, out of 4.
Yeah, they are by far the 4 fastest trucks on the track, a second faster than every other group of trucks out there, these front 4, with Chris Blanchard hanging on by a thread. Will and Wesley, as we're getting down to it, 18 laps to go. Barring a yellow, we will most likely see Kerry Tribune in the championship 4, but don't count your chickens before they hatch, Kerry Tribune. Anything can happen in these late race moments.
Wouldn't that be something amazing? Because we several times, William Tiller said he was out of the dance, out of the fight. Fell back in that draft and free fell behind the leaders in the pack of the draft, and he had all that momentum. Now, strategically, putting himself right back in that 13th spot, the Baker's dozen. It might be good to go to the championship 4 out of 4.
Yeah, right now he's the top 4 drivers there at the top of the grid. I'd have to say, maybe with the exception of a part-time driver, Blake Lothian, that's been our top 4 all season long here. Justin Lumpkin has come on strong here. Late stages of this season, Tyler, going to make it 17 laps to go into 1 and 2.
And don't forget, Blake Lothian has multiple wins across the NASCAR series of races, and he also has a win this year. I believe that win came at none other than Bristol Motor Speedway, one of our short tracks on the schedule. So, Wesley, Blake Lothian, not a surprise to see up there up front.
And not only that, the Wellesley, Massachusetts driver is also a full-time competitor on the Solid Rock Carriers Cars Tour, and they prepare for round number 3 at the birthplace of NASCAR stars at Hickory this Saturday night. I'm sure he'll be there for that race, and he sits there in P3 right now as the laps wind down with 17 to go. They're on the back straightaway. Working to you again, Tyler, out of 4.
Yeah, they're working back here on the front straightaway, Will. And we talked about these 4 drivers right now. None of them really have an incentive to go for this win until they are coming to the checkered flag down that front straightaway. 2 of them are locked on the playoffs. 2 of them are not racing for the playoffs. They don't want to see a caution. They've set themselves up perfectly.
Yeah, right now, as you're still on the inside lane, these top 4 trucks right now. And I guess my question to you here, Wesley, is going to cross right by your point of view. Is you see anything happening here to this field? These top 4 drivers still leading the way here with 16 laps to go, or are we just watching our top 4 here going to race it out?
I think right now, I really think we're going to see a late race caution. That's my thoughts. I'm kind of willing it to happen. Tyler Dittmer, as they work their way to you back out of turn 4. I want to see a late race caution to make this a crazy finish. It's been a good race so far. I think we definitely need to see a caution to bunch things up.
Yeah, well, if you're going to see a caution, it's going to come from that field with Dan Hagan, Brandon Bullock, Brady LaBeouf, Jason Morales, Brian Chu, Brandon Broadfoot, and company. That's your biggest collection of drivers and your most likely cause of a yellow. You have drivers who are willing to make moves that may put drivers in uncomfortable positions, breaking out that late race caution, Wesley. Right now, the leaders are working back towards you on the back straightaway, still led by Adam Newbert. They look quite comfortable.
Yeah, that's that second pack that's working its way in front of me that you were talking about. The first 5 trucks right there, 6 trucks, if you will, separated. Brandon Bullock leads pack number 2 with Dan Hagan. Brady LaBeouf, we know he's going to the championship round next week at Chicagoland. Jason Morales, Brian Chu, Broadfoot, all in that pack now, William, as they work their way to you, the 3.
Yeah, right now with 15 laps to go, we're watching this race just sort of play out here, Tyler. I have to say this is the calm before the storm, before the fireworks begin to fly. But one thing you did touch on, Tyler, it's interesting to see here at the conclusion of this race, none of our top 4 drivers really have any incentive of winning this race, with the exception of the 43 truck of Blake Lothian and Justin Lumpkin, who want to take home that cash.
Yeah, and it's also just a momentum boost for these leaders to go out there and win this race and collect a larger paycheck as well. And also get some momentum going to Chicagoland next week as you look at Adam Newbert and Nate Maurer leading that front pack. 2 drivers who have been dominant at times all year long. We go to an intermediate track next week, Chicagoland. Our last winner on the intermediate track was Brady LaBeouf at Nashville Superspeedway, Wesley. But Adam Newbert had a stretch where he was almost unbeatable at intermediates, as well as Nate Maurer over the Christmas holidays.
Yeah, but you got, of course, Blake Lothian as we're trying to get back in sync with one another, working their way back to turn number 4. He'll stay right there to the inside. Never count out any of these guys. Blake Lothian, strategist at best in that Toyota number 43, waiting patiently when to make his move. That's another one of those. Swim. Jeff Sickles has got to be happy with what he's got with Sick with It Motorsports. 1 and 3 at least right now. Maurer, the odd man looking out, but he's perfectly in second as they all do-si-do, prestige perfect down the inside of the double yellow line. I was going to say single file. He's in his own world right now. It's Adam Newbert's race to win into turn number 3.
Yeah, right now round 3 and 4 still single file there on the inside lane with 13 laps to go. And Tyler here, they're going to roar towards this front stretch. A few disappointing finishes here tonight. Hunter Parsons going to be out of this race for Alameza 37. Again, going to get that bad luck bug. And Robbie Richards, the 48, not going to finish this race here tonight either.
Robbie Richards is actually back on track. Not really sure where he is, but he has been running laps the last few laps by. But the lead pack is coming back around through 1 and 2. But important to note, that backpack is catching Sean Hamilton, Justin White. Actually, they have caught them now.
He has, and believe it or not, they are actually trying to make this a bigger pack of traffic than what we thought it was going to be. He's going after all he's got right now, and here comes the rest of those drivers. Step right up, come on in, more pack. 3's a crowd, more 5, 6 trucks is going to make it fun. And you got all of these guys trying to go after each other, going to turn number 3 to make it a crazy finish down the stretch.
Yeah, I love to see with 12 laps to go. We're going to see if everybody can just come together like a Metamorphosis Power Ranger here tonight on the NASCAR 360 Racing Network. You see everybody now falling into line. Oh my goodness, Tyler, this is more teamwork than I saw out of the 86 Dream Team.
Yeah, this teamwork is what we have been missing. If we maybe had this earlier on, we had a larger pack, and maybe we'd see the pack come back together if those green flag stops Wesley. But right now, we have what we have, those 4 trucks out front.
Ooh, cue up the Bob the Builder theme. What's going to work? Teamwork. And right now, teammates see they're flanked with one in the middle. It's still right there, single file. And here's another deal. Even though they might be not your teammate, your foe, your ally. Who do you run with? Do you hook up with a driver that's got a much better race going than somebody that might be a cause of concern? That's somebody that you need to become an ally with. Even though they're not teammates, Tyler, working in front of you in the broadcast booth, it is still essential to find who your partners are until that last lap. This is Talladega. All bets are off on the white flag.
Yeah, the 4 leaders still working 10 laps to go now. Now there's that second pack of 4 drivers who are running relatively quick laps, but not fast enough to catch this lead pack. And then you have about another 7 truck pack further back, Wesley. So that lead pack works down the back straightaway towards you and Will.
They are working their way off of that corner again. Adam Newbert, the Toccoa, Georgia native, staying in that top spot right now. It's Maurer, Lothian, Lumpkin, Bullock. Those are those drivers in that pack. Then you've got also White and Hamilton. Then you see Dan Hagan falling back in his own world. He now has Brady LaBeouf, Jason Morales, Brian Chu, all this going on in the organized single file do-si-do formation, trying to get their chess pieces in order, William, off of turn 4.
Yeah, we'll see if they have enough reinforcements here with 9 laps to go. You see this lead pack trying to take advantage of some of these lap trucks also in the mix. You saw them use them for just a short bit of time there, Tyler. As we're going to roll off of this corner here. Adam Newbert's still leading the way.
Yeah, Adam Newbert's still leading the way as they're with Wesley down the back straight. That second pack through 1 and 2, trying to chase him down. Wesley, I don't think they'll be able to do it.
Yeah, backstretch to turn number 3. Again, as I mentioned, late race caution. You want one now. Right now, that first pack has got really up to speed. Fastest laps, and they're pulling away there, William, in 3.
Yeah, it is starting to, that window's starting to close on these drivers here tonight. We might be looking at our top 4 finishers on the racetrack, but all my hat goes off to them. We look at Brandon Bullock there at top 5 position, up 15 spots from the drop of the green flag. Justin Lumpkin 4th, up 14 spots. Blake Lothian, of course, in 3rd, up 1 spot. Nathan Maurer up 12 spots, and Adam Newbert, our race leader, guys, up 7 spots from the drop of the green flag.
Working back into the corner again. It's going to be Adam Newbert. Sorry, Tyler. Didn't mean to step on you. They work into the banking. Maurer will follow. Here comes now also Lothian. They all stay 5-truck single file, but they're up to speed now as they work the back straightaway, picking up a bunch of momentum as they come into single digits, William, single file to turn number 3.
Yeah, right now, as we see Adam Newbert still leading the way on the inside lane, Nathan Maurer right there, Blake Lothian as well, and Tyler, you got to think with 8 laps to go, some of these drivers are gonna start to dip their toes in the water, so to say, start to see what opportunities may arise.
Yeah, there was a point in time where you maybe thought some of these drivers would have had a chance to catch up, but in the last few laps, that front pack of 4 has really put the pedal down. They've been back in the 52s after running 53s. That's their fastest set of laps here as a group of 4. That's 52-1s. Not fastest lap of the race fast, but they're not a big pack anymore. But they're still putting together top times, and they are pulling back away from that second group of 4.
Working off that tunnel turn there right now, as you said, William, perfectly down the back straightaway. Tyler hit it perfect as well. Everybody right now, top 5 single file, inside, outside. When do you pull out a line? One of these trucks are going to try to win and make a move on Newbert. The question is when they go to 3.
Yeah, and you see right now, nose to tail, nose to tail, nose to tail. Our top 4 still large and in charge right now off of corner number 4.
Yeah, those front 4 sitting quite comfortably now. They'll have one more lap truck to get around, and then that should be clear sailing the rest of the way. So they're getting 6 laps to go. That's the lap truck of Ron Hunter. And really, there is no chance of anyone catching them, barring a late race yellow, which by the looks of it, we may not get one, gentlemen. Meanwhile, these front 4 are cruising through 1 and 2 towards Wesley.
You know who's praying for a caution right now? It's Chris Blanchard. He's on the tail end of the lead lap. He right now is wanting to be right there with that pack of that number 9. He's got no choice but to hook up right behind the machine of those trucks of 4th of Newbert, Maurer, Lothian, Lumpkin. Right there as they'll come to the line, William, and 5 to go this time by.
And with 5 to go, here's going to come off of corner number 4. My question to you, Tyler, is going to come down this front stretch. Now looking at Sean Hamilton in 7th and Kerry Tribute down in 14th. Is there enough of a gap now for the 89 to get in?
Not yet. He would need Tribute to drop to 16th, which would be almost impossible because of Blanchard being a lap down in 16th. It's a 10-point gap. Hamilton is actually now 7th, so Hamilton would have to... The best position Hamilton can finish is 5th. Tribute would have to finish 15th, I believe, for Hamilton to get in at this point in time. Leaders on the back stretch with Wesley.
Oh, my. I thought he was going to go below the bottom line there and make something happen amongst that pack. Tyler Daniels got impatient. And while that goes on, these other 5 drivers are being patient. Watch that second storm brewing pack. I think there could be something happening here as there's a bump draft by Maurer on Lothian in 3 and 4.
Oh my goodness, that could have been disastrous there on 3 and 4. You saw a little bit of that awkward bump from Blake Lothian, the 43 truck to the back of the 971 on 8th and Maurer, but we're going to make it 4 to go. Tyler, we're going to cross the start-finish line.
Yeah, Blake Lothian apologized over driver radio saying, sorry, did not mean to hit him there. So that was not intentional in any way, shape, or form as those lead trucks work off of 2. They have 4 laps to go as they're working toward Wesley trying to get to 3.
Yeah, right now, Newbert again's right there, about a half a truck length lead over the machine of Nate Maurer. Maurer has not had probably a lot of great success since Daytona, at least on the Triple M Pulling Truck Series. Lothian now right there with his teammate for a swim, and then you got a couple of oddballs in, also Justin Lumpkin and Justin White. Blanchard working inside, outside, coming to the corner. Blanchard is on the tail end of the lead lap. What type of strategy, Tyler, will he make in this race as they come to the line in 3 to go to the trial?
I've been thinking about this for a long time now, gentlemen, and he really, if he wanted to really push the envelope, could have side drafted these lead 4 trucks and brought those 4 trucks behind them into it and increased his chances of getting a caution. But it is too little too late now with 3 to go, Wesley, as they work back towards you off of 2 this time by.
Yeah, Newbert now starting to get some company behind the machine of Maurer. Maurer gets impatient. He'll go to the outside. He'll go to the inside. Lothian, I know he's behind Maurer, but he's teammates with Newbert. He's going to be right there to help him make a wrong slip and to throw a block if need be to help the 4 into 3.
With 3 laps to go, guys, you could be looking at a preview of next week's race at Chicagoland. These two drivers will be racing for a championship in just 1 week's time. Adam Newbert, the money man, he got that moniker for winning 6 races out of 8. You also have Nathan Malley, the regular season champion here, won 3 races in a row, but with 2 laps to go, it's anybody's race here down to 1.
Yeah, these leaders are now bundled up here, well-mannered for the time being. When do they make the move? Wesley, is it coming off of 4? There's only 4 of them. They can make the move almost as late as they want on the final lap.
Less than 5 miles to go. If you want to make your move, you better make it now. Maurer looking inside, looking outside. Everyone else like a scared cat. They stay as a possum down the back straightaway. No one making a move now as they work the William into 3 coming to the white flag.
The money man right now still leading the way to the apex of 3 and 4. Nathan Maurer, Blake Lothian, Justin Lumpkin, and Blanchard right there as well as we roll off of 4.
Looking for the white flag this time by Adam Newbert leads these 4 leaders. They'll get to the white flag. You can pretty much lock in Kerry Tribute as your 4th playoff driver, barring any chaos in the back of the pack. Right now, Adam Newbert leads them white flag as they work towards Wesley.
And here they come now. They're going to start to break out of line as here comes now the machine of Lothian. He'll make a move on Maurer. He's got some help with Justin Lumpkin, another swim teammate. 2 by 2. Blanchard now in the battle on the tail end as they work the back straightaway. Newbert under the gun. Here comes now Blake Lothian. The Massachusetts driver powers to the lead with Lumpkin as a pick as they work the 3.
Justin Lumpkin just shot the inside, gap to the inside. Now a race leader, the 18 of Justin Lumpkin, will lead the race off of 4.
So coming down the front straightaway, Lumpkin's got his teammate Adam Newbert behind. Maurer, Lothian, they have 3 wide with Blanchard. Newbert's going to look to the outside. Drag race here down the front straightaway. Newbert side drafts the 18. Maurer's coming up behind him. Can Newbert get to the line? Contact Lumpkin gets loose at the line. It's Lumpkin, I believe.
Oh, it might be Newbert. It might be Newbert in the 4.
Boy, I'm saying Justin Lumpkin won this race on the bottom of the apron at 001.
Wow.
Wow. To the bottom of the apron, but it still counts.
Yeah, he did not pass anyone. He was in the lead, got loose, so that should be a valid race. When you may not even see him in frame here, gentlemen. We come to the checkered flag. That's Jason Morales. We're not looking for that. We're looking for Justin Lumpkin at the white flag waving behind. There's some chaos back in the field. Brandon Broadfoot, Brian Chu, Morales all got involved in an incident. But we're waiting for our leaders to come through and check an instant replay of this finish, gentlemen. And it was a tight one.
He's grabbing the checkered now. Here they come to the line. Oh, my goodness. I think Lumpkin got it below the bottom of the... Oh, yeah, he got it. He got it. There it is, plain as day. Now, if you are real NASCAR and you advanced your position below the double yellow line, William Tiller, Tyler Dittmer, there's no way in hell that he's going to win that race. But
he might, though, Wesley. He had the lead coming into it, so he didn't advance his position. He held his position coming loose off the corner. So NASCAR may have given it to him, but here right now, from what I understand, it looks like he's getting it.
He's going to win.
Yes,
he's going to win.
He's burning it down. He is burning it down here on the front straightaway.
Wow.
Adam Flieger, if you could rewind them again and just look at how fast this was in real speed coming to the start-finish line for the drivers of Lumpkin. And by the way, guys, Justin Lumpkin was 4th. He was by himself. Watch this at full speed. Coming to the line right about now. Look at this. Wow. Look at how fast that was.
Yeah, as he's going to burn it down here at Sweet Home, Talladega, Justin Lumpkin wins here. And he also not only, guys, takes home the checkered flag, also wins the Hard Charger Award.
Wow.
And moved to this victory up 17 spots since the drop of the green flag.
And now my question is this. Kerry Tribute, Sean Hamilton, 11th and 12th. Blanchard, 14th.
Tribute is in, Wesley. Tribute is in. My question is, how did Hamilton go from 10 seconds up on Tribute coming to the white flag to behind him? I want to see if we can find Sean Hamilton's final lap here, because something must have happened in that second pack of 4, because he was with that group of Dan Hagan, Brandon Bullock, and Justin White.
That's right.
And he finished almost 30 seconds behind them.
And by the way, William Tiller, crazy calamity, the first two stages, like I said, I think the damage was done once we got to stage number 3. These guys were down to the best of the best, and they went about 56 laps caution-free into stage number 3.
We're going to see exactly what happened to Sean Hamilton here, Will and Wesley here as they coming down the back straightaway. I believe this is the final lap. Nope, this is the front straightaway coming to the white, I would assume. So if this is them coming to the white, we're going to see their entire final lap here. Hopefully we get an answer to what exactly happened.
Yeah, this is the final lap. They worked their way in front of me with Hagan. Working to the bottom of the racetrack. That's the Napa machine. Ron Hunter, the laps truck, multiple laps down. Bullock and Hamilton. And what is that, white behind them, I believe it is?
Yeah, that's Justin White behind them.
Oh, well, there you go.
Did Hamilton's engine expire from damage? It looks like it did. It looks like it gave out. Yep, it gave out finally. Wow.
Justin White just gave a little punt there to the 89 of Hamilton, and Sean Hamilton blew an engine coming down into 3 and 4. What heartbreak for the 89, because honestly, William and Tyler, I think he would have been in the playoffs. But like we said, remember how many times we said Kerry Tribune was going to be eliminated? Look who's right back into the Final Four.
I have a question. Did he blow an engine or did he lose fuel? Did he not get enough on that gas and go? Because that we might be able to have a better idea here from an in-car.
Well, watch right here.
Yep, looking at the RPMs. It doesn't. No, he's out of gas. You can see
he's out of fuel, guys. He didn't blow an engine. Oh man, he's out of fuel. Plain as day. You look on the gauge, you can see where it's sputtering, and then all of a sudden it went flatline.
Yep, you would have seen the gauges go red and then black if he had blown the engine. No, he is just out of gas, gentlemen.
William, that's heartbreak in front of you, brother.
Yeah, that's absolute heartbreak for the 89 of Sean Hamilton, who, guys, all night long was doing exactly what he had to do. And on the very last lap, as I kept asking you there, Tyler, was it enough? Was it enough? Did he have enough space? Was he doing enough in this race? It was always 1 or 2 more positions he had to advance. But here tonight for the 89 machine of Sean Hamilton, those championship hopes are now dashed.
Yeah, we're going to move directly into our post-race show to meet our time commitments, gentlemen. And we're going to start with your third-place finisher, regular season champion, standing by with Wesley Outland. That's Nathan Maurer.
Nathan, I'll tell you what, definitely a very calm, cool, collective stage 3 besides the first 2 stages. You're going to the Championship 4 finale next week in Chicagoland. Yeah, your take of the craziness that's the wild card of Talladega, and you're on the podium.
I just told Justin and Adam Newbert, two of the best guys in here, and told them the cream always rises to the top, and you've seen that tonight. Don't want to use the word idiots always wreck themselves out early here, because some of my teammates wrecked out early here tonight. I don't know who all made the Final Four. I'm hoping either Robbie or Sean made it. Especially sucks for Robbie being wrecked out early in this race. But I'm here to race for myself here tonight, and glad that we made it to the Final Four.
Well, I believe that definitely we know that who is it real quickly, Tyler? We know Brady LaBeouf is in. We know that Adam Newbert is in. I believe the final spot was
Kerry Tribune gets the final spot.
Yeah, Kerry Tribune got the final spot. So Hamilton and Blanchard are out.
Man, it was a tight race in there. I even told my 2 teammates, man, after they got some good stage points there in the beginning, I said, you guys just need to run a clean race now. And they still got wrecked or wrecked themselves or whatever happened. But you got to play smart here at these super speedway tracks.
Nathan, do you race differently because you knew you were in the Championship 4 for Chicago next week?
No, this is how I race all the time at super speedways, and I'm going to say probably about 75% of the time that I race at super speedways, I always finish in the top 5, simply because I bore myself for the first 95% of the race and just ride in the back and let all the guys wreck themselves out and just keep a clean truck there for the end.
All right, Nathan, before we let you go, man, I want you to thank your sponsors, but I got one more question for you. What's it going to be like for Chicagoland to be in the Final Four next week?
I'll answer the question first here. I came into this league, knew nothing about it. Came in here because I have a couple buddies that race in here. Made more friends in here all along the way. Brady runs a hell of a league in here. I don't care what anybody says. This league is a hell of a lot of fun. I love it. I mean, I gotta get up at like 4:30 in the morning. I still stay up till past 11 o'clock racing with all these guys. To even make it to the Final Four, amazing. I didn't think it was going to happen. I raced with Justin Lumpkin, another league. I know he's only part-time in here this season, but I see some of these heavy hitters in here, some great guys. But I'm going to race just like I race everybody else every week, and I don't want any leniency from the guys that aren't in the Final Four. I hope everybody races just as hard, but just as clean. I already told my wife, told my family, be looking forward. I ain't going to win it. I'm sure Adam will probably go out and win it, but and I get the people telling me, don't be an almost kind of guy. Don't be almost. Go out there and get it done. So it happens.
Yeah, well, there's the mentality of the glass is not half full or half empty. It's the way you decide it. But definitely one thing for sure, he is one of the drivers in the Final Four in his Chevrolet number 971 from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Nathan Maurer, another top 3 podium. He will be at Chicagoland with 3 other drivers for the final race in the Sim Racer Hub NASRA Truck Series. And now William Tiller is standing by with the runner-up of the race, the driver of the number 4, Georgia's Adam Newbert with Swim.
I think we accidentally lost Will Tiller there, but I'm standing by for Will with Adam Newbert, our second place finisher tonight. Adam, you're up there with a bunch of Sick With It Motorsports teammates, obviously Blake Lothian, the part-timer, and then you have obviously another non-championship driver in Justin Lumpkin. What was it like managing those last few laps together, knowing that you had 3 of the 4 spots up front, and then you had Nate Maurer, a guy you've raced with a bunch with you guys?
It was a ton of fun and just how we planned it to be. Couldn't have asked for a better finish than that. Maybe Blake just being third would have been better. But, man, I don't know what to say. I feel like we've been trying to do that at Swim for forever. And I've been saying for the last couple months that, Swim is the best team in NASRA right now. And that's just how I feel about it. I feel like that was just the best team showing off what they had.
Well, you definitely put a stamp on this season, and you look forward towards next week. Championship race, Chicagoland Speedway. Obviously, you've been really competitive at the mile halves all year long. You win at Las Vegas. You're coming here to Chicagoland next week. Another mile and a half kind of race is similar to Las Vegas in the trucks. Does that give you a sense of confidence coming into this championship weekend?
I kind of compare it more to Kansas than I do Las Vegas, and I really like Kansas. Kansas is one of my favorite tracks. I even like Las Vegas too. It's win or go home next week, so it's obviously going to be a win. I mean, there's just nothing else. We're going to head to next week and just go out there and try to win it and win a championship, and I feel like it's well-deserved to come this way. And I think I don't know who the 4th driver is. I know Brady, Nathan, and I don't know who the 4th is yet, so we'll have to find out who that's going to be.
Yeah, that 4th driver will be Kerry Tribute. We do have confirmation by 11 points over Sean Hamilton. Kerry Tribute will be joining the Championship 4, and you'll be able to talk with all the Championship 4 drivers, including yourself, this Wednesday night on the NASRA 360 podcast. Look forward to that episode coming out Wednesday night. We'll have all 4 championship drivers from the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series on to talk about their expectations and maybe a little bit of trash talk heading into next week's championship race, Adam.
Probably just a little bit of trash talk. But I think those are 3 great competitors, Brady, Nathan, and Kerry Tribute. And, none of those guys are guys that can be slept on. All those guys can go out there and win any week out there that there is. So next week's going to be a lot of fun. Next week's going to be very challenging. And there's, it's kind of, there's, how do I put this? A lot of those guys I expected to be in the Final Four, and I knew I was going to be racing for it. We're going to be racing for next week. So we're fixing to find out how it's going to go. I'm ready for it. I'm excited. I'm pumped. I think we're the favorite going in. So I'm just ready.
And if I was a betting man, I'd probably place my money right now on you, Adam. Before we let you go tonight, is there anyone you'd like to thank? Obviously, your team means a lot to you.
Man, my team, man. You're right. They do mean a lot to me. And Adam Newton, he is going to be driving the number 82 DSR electric truck next season for Stick With It Motorsports. He's going to be parking in Victory Lane a lot next season. I've got no doubt. He has been coming up with our strategy these last couple races, and he came up with the winning strategy tonight, put it all together, and he was our eye in the sky tonight, and we got to give a huge kudos to him. Also, just Justin and Blake, just really fun racing with them. Brian Chu, can't forget about him. He was up there with us. He was putting along with us with all the damage he had. I wish he wouldn't have had the damage. I wish he could have been there, but he would have been up there right with us. So, and of course, all of our sponsors at Swim, Millie's Landing, Millie's Restaurant and Catering, DSR Electric, Ladanco, Aizlon and Landscaping, Darren's Nail Gun Repair, the Spatulas, Family Handyman, First Pacific Funding. There's some more out there I'm forgetting. I got to thank all of them. Got to thank Jeff Sickles. Jeff left us run wild on this team, so we ran wild tonight. We're gonna run wild some more next week.
I'm wishing you the best of luck next week at Chicagoland. Adam, looking forward to that NASRA 360 podcast this Wednesday on the YouTube and the Facebook channel. Looking forward to all that brings. And again, best of luck. Thank you for spending some time talking with us. And again, congrats on the second place finish. Meanwhile, Will Tiller standing by with our race winner, Justin Lumpkin, in the booth now with Will Tiller.
Yes, sir. And Justin, that last lap was crazy, man. We had to check out that a couple of times to see if you actually did cross the finish line first, break down this race, and especially that last lap.
Man, we had the perfect strategy, I think. Teammates Adam and then Blake Lothian were up there, and Nate. He was working with us. We just pulled off the strategy and stayed together for those last 20 laps or so, and then we all decided, hey, it's the last lap. We're gonna make a move, and then we just all went for it. And then there at the end, going through the trove, I know Nate gave me a heck of a push, and it got me a little sideways, but I just kept my foot in it and got across the line in front of him.
And let's talk about that. With about 15 laps to go, when did you guys start to realize it was going to be about a 4-truck race there to the finish?
We knew if we just stayed together, we didn't really think they would be able to catch us, because we weren't pushing until we did see that they were starting to, if they'd gain a half a second or a second. Definitely got to give a shout out to man on the box, Adam Newton. He was the man with the strategy and took care of all of us. But yeah, he'd keep us updated, and if we knew they were started catching up with us, we'd start pushing, and then we'd pull another half second on them, another second and a half. So we just kind of ran our own race until it was time to go. And Justin, I talked about it on the broadcast. Of course, you won't be racing for a championship next weekend at Chicagoland, but how big of a win is this here at Talladega, seeing as though we've been through a 20-week season? You're going to cap it off here with a huge win. Man, any time you can win's huge, man, especially here in NASRA. There's a ton of competition. And just to be able to do it with my boys around me, Blake, Adam, and even Nate, it makes it even better. All righty, Justin, before we let you go, my man, what's the plan for Chicagoland next week? Is it helping teammates to get across the start-finish line, or are you racing for a victory as well? Man, I'm always racing for a victory, but yeah, the main focus is going to be getting Swim that championship. So Adam's going to be the main focus, and we're gonna do what we can to help him. Justin, huge win here tonight at Sweet Home Talladega. Before we let you go, my man, go celebrate this huge victory. We're going to give you the opportunity to shout out anybody that you had watching here tonight, or any sponsors that have put that 18-truck in victory lane. Yeah, as always, man, I got to thank God for just allowing us to do this. My girlfriend Kara watching, my mom and dad, they're always watching. The guys at Swim, Jeff Sickles brought me on board. I appreciate him. Adam Newbert, Blake Lothian, Stephen Thomas wasn't here tonight. Brian Chu was in there too. He got some damage earlier and had some bad luck, as he has had all season, but appreciate him as well. But then Darren's Nail Gun Repair, Aizlon and Landscaping, Ladanco, First Pacific Funding, Spatulas, the Family Handyman, and Millie's Restaurant and Catering, one of our big sponsors for the team. And then the guys here at NASRA, Brady, Pulse Poppers, Hoopty's Garage, Blanchard's Towing, Butt Kicker, M1 Race Cars, Warrior Wraps, and then you guys here at NASRA 360 Racing Network. Y'all guys do an awesome job.
Well, huge congratulations, Justin. We saw you sneak down the apron, sneak that nose just across that start-finish line to snag a huge victory here in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. Justin, we appreciate you taking the time. Congratulations once again. We're going to see what you can do at Chicagoland in 1 week's time.
Appreciate it, guys.
With that, we can finish our podium interviews, but I want to bring in one last guest tonight to finish it off. And that's the final driver in the Championship 4 officially. Kerry Tribute, you've made the Championship 4. How does that have to feel after all you had to go through in this race?
What a crazy finish to this round. Did not think I was going to make it after that first wreck. Just really embarrassed on my performance tonight, but somehow pulled it through.
Well, you can kind of, roll water off a duck's back going towards Chicagoland next week. You get to duke it out with Brady LaBeouf, with Nate Maurer, with Adam Newbert for the inaugural title in the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. Getting right as quickly as you can. How are you going to prepare for Chicagoland?
We're going to spend the rest of the week just trying to run long runs and just try to pick up on like our qualifying speed, because I really not that great at qualifying anymore. So just need to really pick it up to compete with these guys. They're really good. They're going to be on their A game, so it's something I need to pick up.
We don't want to keep you too long, but again, we want to congratulate you on making the Championship 4 as the last driver. And before we let you go, Kerry, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Yes, I'd like to thank my wife, my family up in Washington, everybody on my team, Ron, Steve. These guys really helped me a lot this year. Everybody at A&G Compressor Parts, and that's about it. My friends, and just hoping everybody else enjoyed the show today, and thank you guys for putting it all together.
It was a great honor on our part, Kerry. Again, congrats on making the Championship 4. Best of luck next week at Chicagoland. Look forward to hopefully seeing you on the NASCAR 360 podcast this week, as they'll talk with all the Championship 4 drivers for the Monday night series. But again, enjoy making the Championship 4 and get ready for next week.
Yes, can't wait to join the guys, and thank you very much.
That was Kerry Tribute, your final Championship 4 driver. Wesley, Will, and this race had everything. I don't know what more you could ask for except for maybe a green-white checkered.
For sure. I mean, I really enjoyed covering the action on the back straightaway. It's very fun to always have that type of radio atmosphere call and set the stage for what you see, painting a picture. These drivers put their hearts out. Maybe there were some mistakes made that, hey, listen, I even called out Kerry Tribute. There was a mistake made when he got into somebody bump drafting, but he paid his dues, he worked his way through, and he got himself right back in the catbird seat. He's one of these 4 drivers that'll battle for a championship next week in Chicagoland. And I'll tell you what, William Tiller, I think we're going to see the best team win. I don't want to say it's going to be swim, but you have no doubt to definitely don't underestimate what Sick With It Motorsports is doing. They are carrying a lot of momentum going into these events for NASCAR this season.
Yeah, I'm interested to see you, Wesley. We just talked to our race winner, Justin Lunkin, in the 18 truck. Of course, not a championship driver. He's going to go into that race being a good teammate. Of course, he's going to say those things in the interview, Wesley. But when it really comes down to it, what we've seen so far, with me and Tyler have seen so far, you've seen it so far as well, Wesley. Some of these non-playoff drivers, they like to be in the mix there at the end. So watch out for that as well.
Yeah, it really has been a crazy season so far in the inaugural season of the SimRacerHub.com Truck Series. Been an honor so far to call every race alongside Will and Wesley. And really looking forward to next week at Chicagoland and that Championship 4 race. You have 4 talented drivers who have all gotten a win on the season. Drivers with multiple wins, drivers with just 1 win like Kerry Tribute. And they're all very, very solid racers, and they all find themselves at the front at the end of these races, Wesley and Will. So look forward to next week, but we look at our final results here. Unfortunately, heartbreak for Robbie Richards, Chris Blanchard, Kyle Hess, and Sean Hamilton. Those 4 drivers get eliminated tonight. But your Championship 4 drivers moving on next week. Brady LaBeouf, Adam Newbert, Nate Maurer, and Kerry Tribute. You can catch all of them on this week's NASCAR 360 podcast on Wednesday on our YouTube and Facebook. But Wesley, Will, final thoughts before we put an end to this broadcast.
I just enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Thank you, William and Adam. I had a blast, man. Thank you, guys. Tyler, always good job steering the ship. William, I know we work a lot of races together. Hey, shameless plug. Round number 2 of the new Pulse Poppers Fishing Lure Late Model Stock Car NASCAR Series will be tomorrow night with NASCAR at New Smyrna Speedway. Cody Bodie, I believe, and Daniel Paulus will be on the broadcast call with Cody Knott on production. Just to want to give a little plug to them. I really say keep an eye on that that series, Tyler and Will, because that is really an exciting program growing for sure.
No,
Yeah.
and all I gotta say, Tyler, is I'm just ready for those hot dogs next week here in the SimRacerHub.com Cup Series.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see how Chicago works, gentlemen. And big shout out to Red Tucker winning the inaugural race in that Pulse Poppers late model stock series. Wesley, definitely a series to keep your eye on. And I know Red Tucker, talented driver, and a friend of mine back from the old Josh White ARCA series days, and then the beginning of NASRA here. So always a good friend, good competitor. Love racing against him. Probably doesn't remember me as much, but I always enjoyed learning from him in my early days here at NASRA. But that puts our cap on tonight's Over the Top Designs 200 from Talladega Superspeedway. Your winner, Justin Lumpkin, getting it done in a 4-wide photo finish here at the end. My name's Tyler Dittmer, joined on the backstretch with Leslie Allen, and 3 and 4 with Will Tiller. Adam Flieger, our amazing producer, as always, getting you these great camera shots. We wish you all a good night, and thank you for tuning in. And tune in next week as we take on Chicagoland. The Championship 4 stage is set.